Appreciate everybody coming out today for Tuesday, February 24th, City Council meeting. Before we get started, Chair would like to ask for a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. The clerk would read the revisions.
To the policy agenda, we're removing item 4A, ordinance to amend municipal facilities, removing 4C, resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence, substituting 4I, resolution rescinding resolution number 71325, and authorizing agreement with Mississippi Department of Employment Security. To the consent agenda, we're substituting items 5K and L to add exhibits only for a resolution accepting the rate quote for a lease purchase agreement from Cadence Equipment.
The Chair would like to entertain a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion.
All right, made by Mr. Gray,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Creel. Any discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, everyone. I think we made it through a successful Mardi Gras season. Ms. Hunt's here. She's here. Oh, okay. Well, you want to come and give us a little report since she's the official street walker for that day? Oh, yeah. Got your bread.
I want to say, I thought it was a great event. Mark Brown, he was here. He left. He was talking a great event. Everything was great. All the visitors loved it. They said it was a fascinating event. Loved it. So this would be my comments. I do want to thank each one of you participating in the children's march and parade. Okay, it was great. The children loved it. And thank you for riding on the tour train. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Appreciate it.
I need to know how many police officers that did on the road so I can make this. Count you in, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Along those lines, I think this day we live in AI, and I think at the last part of a workshop, I attended a demo, and it's related to the information that you have. It's not any kind of big brother situation, but everyone, you have a smartphone and some of the apps that you have, it's pumping out data. And again, I think ICE used a lot of this in some things, but there's a company we're looking at called Placer AI. And I think Oxford has it. And but the demo that we asked for, and of course, this would be talking about Mardi Gras, but we asked last year, December the 19th, we had an event called Christmas on Howard Avenue. So we did a little geofence around that and said how many people attended, how many were there, where did they go before, and where did they go after. So it'd be a great thing. We'll do another demonstration, maybe invite whoever would be there, what happened on both Saturday before Neptune Parade, what happened on Gulf Coast Parade. So it's pumping out some valuable data. But not only, where did they come from initially, but where did they go to before? And you mark the different, but it's a subscription of that kind of data, but it's very important. And again, Rick is going to Oxford and look at how they're using this data. So it'll give us more, validity in how we place some of the sponsorships and what we do on some of these events that we do, since we have more events than anyone, right? I think, Chief, we had, 4 arrests on Mardi Gras Day, and 6 was very minimal, wasn't it? So it was a very successful day, and so I thank everyone and appreciate that. But let me, I think on the consent agenda, we have the entire group, Matthew, Marver, as well as all of Encore here, and they're all Biloxi citizens and love Biloxi, and that's on the, we're encouraging the support of this issue about Encore Sanger, which will be taking over the marketing and development and investment in the Sanger to start rolling as fast as we can. So we met on a number of occasions and evaluated. We had actually made a selection of a group about 3 years ago. 2 years ago. But anyway, this really, in all intents and purposes, is the best way that we can engage, and then the best the best opportunity for us to fire up this anger and to keep it here for another 100 years. So that'll be coming up, and Matthew will be here if you doing that consent agenda if you want to ask him any questions. Let me ask all the group from Encore Sanger just to stand up real quick. So these are the leaders, and I think you recognize all these voices, all these faces. So I thank y'all, and we're looking forward to that operation. Thank you. Couple of little notes here. I think on tonight, I think at the Gruett Center, we're kicking off Black History Month at 6 p.m. And then along those lines, we're having a community expo at the Civic Center on Saturday, February 21st. Maybe we did that already. And then there's a tree giveaway. We have 250 trees to give away Saturday at Hiller Park at that's the 28th at 9 a.m. And then, of course, the Mayor's Challenge, where I think Biloxi's supposed to be beans, dry beans, and we're going to do that. I think March 4th is the actually, there are locations at the fire stations and here, as well as any other public place, I'm not sure. But anyway, those are the things. And that, I think that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. There being no departmental reports, we'll move on to the council reports. Mr. Gray?
Jamie, can you come up? Couple questions for you. We know it's warming, things start warming up, even though you was a little cold this morning at the farmer's market. But do we got an update on the parks? I know you're trying to get everything going, like pulling the padding up on the Point Cadet to kind of see what's under it. Have we made any?
The latest thing we got was the quote that we had talked about, and that's about where we're at, trying to figure out if we want to pull the trigger on that or not.
Yeah.
Or look elsewhere for some different numbers.
Well, we're going to look at pulling that padding up on the splash pad,
Just to see.
Yeah, so we can kind of see what we got, I mean,
We'll look and see, get a crew down there and maybe try a little section and see
yeah.
what it entails, how hard it may be to do the whole thing. And then that way, that'll at least give us an idea of whether we need to get a professional contractor in there to remove the remainder of it up.
Right, that way we kind of look at, maybe we can adjust some of them sprinkler heads or lights ourselves, and
Lights,
we ain't got to hire somebody. And hopefully we can do it, like you said, with concrete and not have to do it with the rest. That's all I have, thank you. Farmers Market, I know we're working on a solution, so if everybody just bear with us. We've been talking about it all morning, us and administration. So we're working on a solution, so y'all bear with us. Jerry Krill, can you give us an update, and you may not have this on hand, building permits for East Biloxi? I mean, is anybody applying for any?
Well, we did issue 8 permits for the new townhomes. They're
Okay.
going in on Maple Street. We signed off on those yesterday.
Okay.
The crew that's going to be building those is moving from Hawk Creek. They're finishing up phase 1 of Hawk Creek. They're moving down there. So we expect to see construction on that very soon. I don't have any other information here. I'll be
No.
glad to pull it together for you.
No, that's fine. We're just glad to start seeing something being built down there.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I appreciate it.
Nice.
I've been getting a lot of calls with sidewalks on Howard Avenue by Hopkins. We know they come and reset a bunch of telephone poles and stuff. So I don't know if we have any updates. I know we kind of talked about it.
Yeah, this was by the time myself actually rode around with Mississippi Power last night looking at those. Once they move all of those off, what they'll do is immobilize that crew, go all the way down Howard, fixing those holes. What they don't want to have to do is mobilize them multiple times. So we looked at that last night, I think 7:30, 8 o'clock last night when we got through. So Christie charged overtime, but I didn't.
That's good. That's all we need. And I want to see if we can get a street sweeper on Miller Street down to St. Charles. They've been having a lot of leaves that is clogging up their drains, and they just pile up there from the water running down all the multiple places. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Marshall?
Come back to me.
I can't hear you speaking to the mic.
Come back to me.
That's what I thought you said. Okay. Mr. Nail?
Okay. I got a couple of things here. Jamie, at Hiller Park, I looked out there and walked around. We got like 2 park benches that we had put in a couple of months ago. I think we need 15 throughout the whole park. You know, down by the water, people like to sit down there. They just stand right now. They don't know where to sit. I mean, it's a park. Park benches, park.
We do have a couple of the ones similar, or pretty much like the ones we installed at the playground. We're looking at maybe putting one down toward the pavilion on the walking track, and then maybe one right there close to the splash pad that can be utilized for both purposes. While back, we got the metal ones from, I believe, the old Margaritaville, and we've been working with a contractor to try to get maybe those fabricated and installed in our dugouts out at the sports complex, Savaro, Miguez, where they'll actually be a long bench fit. And if we do that, then we may have some extra shorter ones that we can utilize in different spaces, different areas, so on and so forth. Maybe what you're talking about down by the water, down by that walkway, that gravel walkway, and different places like that.
But if we can get some park benches on our own, we could put them out there. We could find some donated ones from somewhere.
We always like donations, so if we can
Good.
find some donations, we can
Anybody out there that's got any nice park
definitely
benches,
look
let me
at
know.
what would need to be installed once we get them.
Okay, all right. And look, I was thinking this too. One of the softball fields where the Christmas ornaments was on,
Yes, sir.
you know, we were wanting to put a dog park over there by the old tennis court. Why can't we put it over there like they did in Pops Ferry? I don't know how they went about doing that at the beginning, but it's already fenced in. The fence is already there. Just a thought.
Revitalize from softball complex there.
Yeah, okay, something to think about. All right, thank you.
Yes.
And then Jerry Creel, y'all work off complaints or y'all just go out looking for stuff that needs to be done?
We do both. We have 4 code enforcement officers for the city. They're each assigned a specific area. They're supposed to patrol that area at least once every 2 weeks, but we also receive complaints either through BeConnect.
So you answer a complaint because I'm complaining right now to the Broadwater Golf Course,
Okay,
so I'll put one in.
okay.
I want to see if maybe we can write them up and get it cleaned up.
Got it.
All right, thank you. And we got the grass cutting season coming up. I went down Pops Ferry Road today, and I was just wondering when we're going to start cutting grass and edging and weeding.
And it'll probably be latter part of March, 1st of April.
You gonna wait that long? I didn't cut like 3 times this year already.
We'll look at the schedule,
All right.
Councilman, and then we'll take a look at that. But we're still waiting on you to also give me those demonstrations. So if you
Yeah,
can
I'm
start
ready.
on Pops Ferry, we'd appreciate it.
Well, I'll come tomorrow morning. All right, that's my report. Thank you. Oh, the trees. I know the mayor already mentioned this, but City of Biloxi Tree Committee at Parks and Recreations Arbor Day giveaway, Saturday, February 28th, beginning at 9 o'clock on Hiller Drive. And when you go in, what we're just talking about where the softball field is, as soon as you go into Hiller Park, you're going to take the first left, and it'll take you all the way back. Don't know what kind of trees they're going to have, but they'll probably have some good ones for you. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nail. Mr. Marshall?
Come back to me.
All right. Mr. Creel?
Come back. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, thank the administration and not only them, but the council clerks as well for all their hard work that they did during Mardi Gras, just supporting everyone that was in and out through City Hall. I think it was a great day, well attended, and both parades, both Saturday and in Biloxi, and even the Second Liners Parade was great. And too bad we can't have Mardi Gras every weekend, right? Gulfport owes us a big thank you. I just read an article in the Sun Herald where their Memorial Hospital has had a huge baby boom, and so thanks to Memorial and Biloxi not delivering babies, Gulfport's population and babies is growing. So hopefully we can get back to Memorial, Biloxi, and delivering babies again, so we can say you were born in Biloxi. But let me know when you get that, Mayor, from Mayor Keating, if it sends a thank you. Yeah, we annex Memorial and Gulfport. I've received a lot of phone calls about the new development. It's actually in Ward 6, but it's right there next to the Mississippi State Extension on Pops Ferry, the 219 proposed homes. Christy, I know we have asked, I've asked you when I got here about doing a traffic study for possible additional red lights on Pops Ferry. Knowing now that we're getting 219 homes with an average of 2 cars per house, is there any way we can further that request on that traffic study to include from Cedar Lake now all the way to the bridge, just to get ahead of that boom coming there? I know it's going to go all the way to Tribe Drive, but at the same time, I think that retail is going to front the Pops Ferry, and it'll have an entrance into there as well. So, Chief, real quick on the food trucks, is there a process of, I guess I'm receiving a lot of feedback on food trucks operating across the street from a brick and mortar restaurant offering the same food type of the brick and mortar. Do we have any enforcement, and or is there ordinances or permits of where these food trucks can operate? And do we have anything to check on the permits, if they're active, if they're licensed, and how does that work? Or is that through the police department, or is that through?
That's through Jerry's office.
Jerry's office.
But in a nutshell, there is a process. They would go through the permitting process, which requires them to get an inspection through the fire department. Once they pass that inspection, address specific, then they would be issued a permit. As far as checking the permit, I'm going to refer that to Jerry.
Okay, well, real quick before we leave it, e-bikes, is there anything, do we have any ordinances or any kind of ongoing thing with the e-bikes? I met with Sunkist golf course board members this past week, and one of their major concerns is these e-bikes that are in excess of 25 miles an hour. There's no helmet. Some of them don't even wear shoes, and they're on the roads, and they're not of licensed age, so they don't know the rules of the road. But these younger kids, I'm glad to see them outside, but at the same time, I'd like for them to continue to be outside and not in a hospital somewhere, because they're not paying attention. They got headphones on, is there any kind of enforcement, or do we have a permitting? For example, a golf cart has to go and get permitted. It has to have headlights, a horn, a blinker, brake lights, the triangle on the back. These e-bikes, do we have anything for these e-bikes?
No, so right now, it's something we would have to take a look at as far as, lack of better terms, marionette, like the golf carts you mentioned. As far as juveniles on the roadway, on a motor vehicle and stuff, that's something we can enforce. But as far as city ordinance, anything dealing with e-bikes yet, but it is something we can take a look at.
Okay, especially on the Saturday mornings around that time. And I know I'm not going to be a big fan of the kids in the neighborhood, but it's the adults that are worried because they're behind them in the vehicle. And when they go to make a left, they're not paying attention, and they're just being kids, but at the same time, it's become an issue. So thank you. Hey, Jerry, if you could follow up on the food truck.
Yes, sir, there is a process that they go through to get approval. They come to the DRC first. The proposed food truck has to be inspected by the fire department to make sure that they have the right fire suppression equipment inside. We asked the council a couple of years ago, the original ordinance said that they only had to locate 50 feet away from a brick and mortar restaurant, but we asked the council to increase that, and they went to 250 feet.
Yeah.
So that's the requirement. Now, they have to be at least 250 feet away from a brick and mortar restaurant. Now, there are those that go through the licensing process, and there are those that will just pop up, just show up on a Saturday or something like that. And we're going to have to take a look at how we're going to address those. But for the most part, people do come through and go through the process and get approved.
And then the enforcement side of it is done through?
Could be through us or through fire department or police department. Weekend is the police department. During the week, we'll send people out there to address it.
Okay, all right, thank you. Christy, another thing is, I know we had talked about the traffic, the speed study, and Chris on the on Sunkist Country Club, and we were waiting for the construction of the fence to be complete, so we knew which egress they were using. It's complete now, so they went from 3 crosswalks to 2. So the fence is up, it's ready. So if we could look at and possibly removing the 15 mile an hour unenforced area, that would help as well. And then, but no, and I will tell you this: your enforcement agents have been out there. The police department have been very visible, and so they have been there. So thank you for that as far as patrolling. And then I'm assuming, but I just want to put it out there, that America's about to be 250 years old, and we're going to put something together from the city's aspect for July. Just wanted, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. And if I could get my colleagues to support me today in adjournment of memory of Miss Rosemary Bailey, who just recently passed away. So thank you.
That concludes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Creel. Mr. Tisdale.
Yes, with the new senior water rate, that is effective April 1st. Is that right, Peter?
Right. As of April 1st, if you're approved, you'd be allowed to receive that rate, yes.
Okay. So that approval has to be prior to April 1st. Doesn't have to be, but as soon as you are approved, that's when the rate takes effect. So, and what I'm thinking is, if the rate is effective April 1st, for those folks that want to apply for that rate, is there a form out there available that they can
Yes,
complete?
people that have the existing seniors that have the rate, they've, I believe, received a letter this week, or the letter went out, is going out this week. I think Cecilia, we've been working with her. She's going to have information, I believe, by this Friday about where to find the application if you want to apply.
Okay. And will that be in the B News as well, I think?
Yeah, it's also going to be at the first part in the hard copy of the B News, but it'll be in the whatever the Friday A to Z. It'll be
the B Mail.
Be there coming this week, or yeah.
Okay, and I'm just thinking with I don't know, anything you could do to educate seniors, it's a challenge, but
Right.
we just need to make that effort. The next thing is, and I've mentioned this before, this deals with the Coliseum's west parking lot. When they dump traffic after events there at that egress at the north end of Pine Grove, what prevents the city from putting up a fence, a gate really, posting a gate that we control, so that they don't dump all that traffic at midnight or 11:30. I think the latest was traffic, both lanes on Pine Grove, both lanes of traffic were used to head south to Highway 90. So if you had to get an emergency vehicle into that neighborhood, there was no way to do it in a timely fashion. And the other entrance and exit from that neighborhood is Briarfield, which is still torn up with the infrastructure project. So again, that's and I've mentioned this before, what prevents us from putting up a gate there. I know we have a new executive director coming on board, I guess Monday, and I plan to meet and speak with him about the issue, but why don't we control that gate if one were installed there? That way we control the flow, by which I mean there wouldn't be any traffic dumped into Pine Grove. It's just the residents are tired of all the noise, the horns honking, tires peeling, hitting the horn, the loud music, people walking through their yards at midnight. Go ahead.
Let me respond.
We can check too to see if they have any access rights or if there's any access agreements that are in place. And if it's not, it'd be prudent to sit down and try to work out a solution with them.
Certainly, but hopefully by the end of the year, that solution will as we extend Pops Ferry across, that would be a reason not to impede them from going to the neighborhood, because they'll be dumping right onto the new
Right, that would be my hope as well, but there's no guarantees if we don't control that gate.
We do have a little bit of a leverage on what we can do to ensure that they will.
Right, but if I'm a resident, what I'm hearing is, hey, just bear with us for another 10 months. And I'm thinking, geez, it was tough for me to bear with you on February 14th after the concert.
Yeah. Well, again, we'll.
But if we could check on that, I'd like for us to do something or work something out. We just got to do a better job for those residents.
Definitely.
Thank you. The next thing is, I don't know if Walt is here or not. There he is. All right, Walt, if you don't mind, you'll need to come up to the mic just because I want to get a good look at you. Thank you. Thank you. Any idea when that intersection at Briarfield and Highway 90, I mean, they've got, I know they tore up the asphalt. Have they completed the work and they're just waiting to put the asphalt down? It looks like it's graded with fill, but if you could just kind of clarify where we are with that spot.
Well, Councilman Tisdale, Bob Sylvester beat you to the punch when I first walked in, asked that question. Every time I've gone and told any of our residents and businesses that Nikkei's will have Warren paving out there ready, turns out Nikkei's isn't ready. But my team meeting today with my Neil Schaefer team, they said that they were told by Nikkei's that Warren paving is scheduled to be out Friday or Monday, start this Friday or Monday to start paving, and they'll probably start on the west side by Gateway Drive and the service road first, then make their way west to east. But you're right, Briarfield is ready to be paved. They did all the final tie-ins of the water, sewer, and drainage. But, we've heard this before.
Right, and the last time was a number of months ago, and they were working from east to west on the concrete and the paving, I think. So now they're starting at DeBees out there by Gateway.
Well, that's what they told my team, and my team told me.
Okay.
We'll know when we see Warren out there, I guess.
Gotcha. When is the latest deadline? When's for the completion of this project?
February 7th.
February 7th, okay. So they're in liquidated damages right now, and I know it's all this leverage and things at the end. You don't have to answer that question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walt. Appreciate it. And I do want to thank all the first responders who worked Mardi Gras and Miss Hunt for not fussing at anybody on that day, if you can believe it or not. If she was fussing at anybody, there weren't any witnesses left to tell the tale. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Shoemaker.
Just a couple of things. As of yesterday at noon, the small bridge on Woolmarket Road just west of Husley Road is down for repairs, needed repairs. It's going to be down probably close to a month. And again, it's the small bridge. It's not the bridge on Old 67 that was down a month or so ago. It's on Woolmarket Road just west of Husley, so between Larkin Drive and Shriners Boulevard is going to be closed. And unfortunately, it's going to be a month, but it's needed repairs. So hopefully that'll be done prior to a month, but we're looking at least a month. Number two, the second thing I have, and just to Councilman Nail's point about Broadwater, oddly enough, I've had one of my residents contact me 3 times in the last several days. And this is by no means anything negative to code enforcement. They're doing their job. This particular person needed to be cited, and he was cited. However, what he was cited for, I can go to Broadwater property, and it's times 100 or more of what he got cited for himself. And he's asking me questions, and he specifically brought up Broadwater property. It's hard for me to answer that when I don't know the answer, because he gets cited for that, but Broadwater property does not. It's not right. He lives on a side street in Woolmarket. Broadwater is Highway 90 and Pass Road. Everybody that travels West Biloxi sees this property. Last year, I made the comment, we'll kick the can down the curb, and next year we'll be discussing the same problem next year. And here we are next year discussing this again. There's got to be a reason, and I sure don't know it, why we let the Broadwater property remain the way it is. They're violating the code. It's simple. You don't even have to know the code to know they're violating it. We need to do something. I don't know what that is, other than cite them for a lot of different things, but there's obviously a reason we're not. But we need to do better. Summertime's coming. It's going to get way worse, all of it, at the Broadwater property. And all the tourists, again, are going to see the Broadwater property in West Biloxi. So we need to do something about Broadwater property once and for all and be done with it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Marshall.
All right, all right. Mr. Jamie? On Henry Beck Park, I know it's the gate. One of the gates is there, it's working, and it's staying locked. Is there a system for that? Unlocking it, locking it, rules, anything?
As far as, I'm confused by the question. What do you mean system?
Do we have a plan on what time it's gonna be open up and closed? Or we just leaving it locked right now?
I don't know who locked it. We don't know who locked it.
Okay. All right.
I noticed it today when I drove by that there was a chain and a lock on it.
Right.
I checked with all of our department and none of us locked the gate.
Right. It's been locked for over a week now. I'm not complaining about it, but I do need to be able to, make sure the getting in and out of there is important.
Right.
So I kind of like the idea that it's locked. It does stop the drive-through traffic. So we need to sit down and probably figure out how we're going to do that. But I do have a couple of people in the community that signed up to be on our little community parks. So we need to find out, maybe we can get an agreement with the city, whatever, for them to have a key, because they live right there looking at the place. Anything we can do to help keep it from paying somebody to open up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning and come back at 7 o'clock at night to close it. So let's kind of look at that. Also, the trash in that area is this. We got somebody just trashing it up just a little bit more than usual. I've been walking through there, and I don't know how to stop it.
Talking about the park in general or just all around? The park and all the surrounds?
The park in general.
Okay.
Yeah, the park in general, right. Also, going up under the bridges, is that you?
Under the bridge?
Uh-huh.
Like under the I-110 bridge?
Yeah,
I mean, I know we do some cleanups there. I'm not sure, Christie, do you guys? So it's kind of a collaborative effort between Public Works and Parks and Rec down there cleaning the trash up.
If you start from Division Street, heading on down towards the IP, up on the different sections, it's just piling up a little bit more than usual. There's people who are stashing their clothes and things like that. So I'd like to know, we're going to have a plan to work on getting that done.
I'll get with Director Labata and we'll come up with something.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure.
As far as the water for the senior citizens discount, can I get a copy of the letter that was sent out? I'd like to have a copy of the application so I can see what it looked like and what kind of information is needed. And if you don't mind, can you make sure that all the council members get it, so we'll all be on the same page?
Yes, sir, we'll get that to everybody.
Okay. Mr. DeBette. I didn't say chief this time. You don't get me twice. All right. On Elmer and Division, the same little hot spot right there. Anything we can get a car parking there or something, anything to show a higher police presence in that area. That's one of the complaints that we're getting, just hanging out.
I'll look at it and look at what we have going on currently and then come up with a resolution.
Okay. Have the owner contacted you at all?
I'll have to check on that. I don't believe. I'll check on it.
Okay, if you don't hear from the owner, what would be the next step?
I'm sorry.
If we don't hear from that owner, what would be the next step?
To call you if you can contact them.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right. Also on Magnolia Street, in the 200 block, can we get a little bit more police presence over there? It's Wild Wild West.
Once again, I'll look at what we have going on currently, talked about in the past, and then change there.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Weaver. Make your day today.
Sir?
Make your day. Look at that big old smile. Gotcha. What is the process for when a tenant moves out, the landlord goes in and just takes all the stuff out the house and they just throw it out there on the street? I'm getting a lot of complaints because it seems like to me just big piles of stuff, especially going over, if you cross that track on Lemieux Street and even Radar Street, you go down there, it just big piles of trash. I mean, is it that they're missing the day and they're putting it out there the day after the trash man ran? But I need to figure out a way, I don't want to sit out there for 3 or 4 days.
You talking about the rubble that is out there?
Yeah.
And on Fridays, they pick those up. And that's part of the Harrison County Utility Authority. If it's in front of the house, as we've talked about before. If it's not in front of the house, that's when we have to take a look at those and then get with Public Works and have our truck go pick those up. We would prefer, since we already pay for the county to pick it up on our trash pickup, for them to be in front of the house on Fridays. But if it's not, then we'll make sure we do some additional runs through there for you. And if we have certain locations, we'll take a look at those and see.
All right, so is there an ordinance or anything to stop them from doing that?
Putting the trash in front of the house?
Yeah,
Or on the road?
big piles of trash.
None. Yeah, that's where we want them to pick it up at.
Okay.
It just needs to be, we would like for it to be there on a Thursday night, Friday, or not Friday, Monday, I think, isn't it? Is it Friday? So Friday is the pickup day.
The truck runs on Friday?
Yes, sir. So we pick up not only just your household trash, but we also, if they have any rubbish that is outside, they'll pick those up. But again, it has to be in front of a residence. A lot of times, they like to move it over into a vacant lot, and they're not going to pick it up on the vacant lot because the vacant lot's not paying taxes towards getting that picked up at, or not paying that pickup fee through Harrison County Utility Authority.
All right. Mr. Walt. I had a piece of paper delivered to you. Can you address that? Tell me what, where we stand on that?
Yes, sir. Ms. Williams' letter, I just read it. She is correct about everything on here, except probably the part about Ward 2 meeting with Neil Schaefer reported these areas have been done. Neil Schaefer wouldn't have been at your Ward 2 meeting. She might have been referencing me. But she's right, those areas are not done. And that is one of the last remaining FEMA-funded infrastructure projects, and FEMA is refusing to fund it.
So what does that mean?
Got to get money from other sources. Maybe a bond. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Mayor. Here you go and start cussing at people.
No, let me answer that. We're working for my congressional delegate. We've been to D.C. a number of times trying to secure the last 75 or 80 million dollars for that.
You have a time frame?
No, he doesn't. We're working on it.
Well, there's only one way you're going to get it, from FEMA. It ain't what we've tried the appeals.
The general appropriations is probably with the way we'll proceed with that. We're working with both senators as well as Congressman Ezell, and on a number of things. But that's, from the DC side is where we're depending on that. Otherwise, it was proceeded, and they even admitted that he should have put these escalation factors in how they funded the project. Now, it was funded $344 million in 2008. And they expected us to deliver those products for that same amount of money in 2025, or 26 at this point now. So bottom line, we're looking for a resolution to that their omitting of an escalation factor to finish the last approximately $100 million of work. But we need about 74. Is that not right?
That's the estimate that was developed by the state, MEMA. Get it from FEMA, you've got to take them to court. That's it.
Okay, so nothing's gonna...
Get it from them.
Nothing's gonna happen this year?
It's
happening.
My bosses.
It's happening now.
Okay, all right. All right, Ms. Williams, I apologize. I told you it was already been in the works, it was already done, and I was incorrect. I apologize, and you got your answers, okay? I'm not satisfied. Neither am I. Yeah. We're going to keep working on it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, on Saturday, we had an organization, The Legacy, did a community resource expo. And I want to reach out to let them know that our Legacy organization and all those that participated in the list of people that participated, the organization that participated in that, really did an excellent job. It was wonderful. And it made me feel so good to see so many of our community people coming together, reaching out to each other. And it just said, wow, that was worth it. That was actually worth it all the time. They gave away over 600, I think it was 60,000 pounds of free food, vegetables, and things that helped so many people. It just helped me, it made me feel so much joy to watch that. The next thing on my list is that for those in East Biloxi, Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, anybody in East Biloxi, we are still working on the development of the funding for the rec/community center. Bear with us, don't give up, and I believe that things will progress. I'm hoping and I'm praying that, it goes into the fact that we can do something that will show that the city of Biloxi is investing, is not afraid to invest in that area. Right as it stands right now, it's a work in progress. I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate your support for it. We can't do it without money. And every year we wait on it, it costs more and more. We know that the recreation center, we lost 2, well actually we lost 3, but we lost 2 main ones, and that was 20 years ago. And we've been promising and take pictures and turn soil, we're gonna fix it. And that item is not on the agenda today, as I understand, but I know that you're here, and I appreciate your support. We are going to be working on it. Don't give up on us yet. Let me check my notes, make sure I got everything.
I can come back to you.
I'm good.
All right, good deal.
Thank you, sir.
Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. I got a few things. I do want to also just state, I think this Mardi Gras, all the parades, especially the two main ones, Neptune and Gulf Coast Carnival Association, went off basically without a hitch. And it was really great to see, nice to see. Neptune, their theme this year was Neptune Conquers Love. But not only did they conquer love, they conquered the weather. When we thought it was going to rain on their parade, it didn't do that, so that was great to see as well. Kudos again to former Chief Miller for being one of our grand marshals. Him, along with his daughter and his grandchildren, really was one of the highlights to see him be able to parade through the streets after he just retired. Also, I want to congratulate both the St. Patrick boys and girls soccer teams for winning state. This is the fourth year in a row for the girls to win it. They would like to get with the administration, possibly on our 6 p.m. meeting, Mayor. Come up here, maybe you can recognize them if I can kind of refer you to them. They're very interested in meeting the mayor and his team and his staff and even a couple of the council members up here. The Cedar Lake shoulder that was deteriorating and really a hazard. I want to commend Public Works Engineering Department, our director, for jumping on that promptly. That area was filled in. It's a lot safer, and you could see, actually, it's a little fishing spot for some, and you can see them safely pulled over, enjoying it. It's much safer today because of your prompt action, so I'd like to commend you for that. Dr. Tisdale referenced a new director that's starting. His name's Sam Voisin. He has ties to Louisiana. He was the founder, the GM, and the director of the Shreveport Convention Center. And most recently, he was the executive director of the Chattanooga Convention Center. So he brings over 30 years experience. I think we're really excited. I talked to members of the selection committee. They're really excited for him to be put in place, and perhaps he can come and address us one afternoon at City Council. I think y'all will be really excited what he's going to bring to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. My colleague mentioned doing a study on these new homes that are going in Ward 6, 200 and something homes that are going in. There's actually a lot more than that. There's probably 600 to 700 single-family homes that are scheduled to go into this area. And a lot of people are concerned about that a little bit and saying, why isn't it at the level of a certain neighborhood? I think they're market appropriate. If you look at them, I think we're going to be very proud of the development. And with that comes, like my colleague referenced, to make sure the infrastructure can support it properly and we have whatever safety measures that need to be in place. One of my items on the bond list is a $300,000 sidewalk for the Brody Road area, which is a major, almost all of the buses come through that corridor. So I think it's something that we need to really look at for safety reasons for the children and the families and the new families that are going to be relocating here. And whatever other infrastructure is necessary, we need to take a hard look at it. Not only does it, are they attracted to the schools that are here, there'll be a new upper elementary that'll be relocating on Pops Ferry Road, where the old Kennedy engine property was. That'll be starting very soon. And I was just going to name a few of the businesses that this will support. Much needed revenue for these entrepreneurs that have invested in this corridor, including the new coffee shop and the retail outlets that are going in at the old Sunny Mortgage. That's at the entrance of Indian Drive and North Bay Elementary and at the entrance of our neighborhood Walmart. We have Pop's Pizza, Applebee's, El Cecito Mexican Restaurant, Slim Chickens, McDonald's, of course, Dunkin' Donuts, Taco Bell. We have a Home Depot that supplies not only these builders, but homeowners that accesses Home Depot, Marco's Pizza, Fayard's. I mentioned the neighborhood Walmart. We have a couple of Dollar Generals in the area, several banks, Cedar Lake Medical Centers. There's also some dentist offices that are located in there, and just a bevy of services whether it's imaging or whether it's a specialty medical issue. It's all accessible there. Of course, the Sportsplex, couple car washes, Delta Tire World, and even a Waffle House. We only got one of those, though. I mean, we might need a second one in that area. And Biloxi's only new car dealership is located in this area as well. So there's a lot of growth happening. I don't think we need to apologize for growth. That's a good thing. People are interested in Biloxi, and in whether it's Ward 6 or it's Ward 1 or 2 or 6 or 5 or whatever, it's a good thing that people are interested in being a Biloxian. And maybe we can get those babies born in Biloxi soon here too. The remainder of my time, I would hope my colleagues would allow me, and I'm only doing this because of a urgent scheduling conflict, if I could call Kathy Springer up and let her use the remainder of my time. Normally this would be during citizens' comments, but she's on a tight schedule, and I'll allow you that under my council report.
Thank you for that. I'm Kathy Springer. I'm the CEO at United Way of South Mississippi. We cover Harrison, Hancock, Pearl River, and Stone County, and I will tell this council and this body that the body of our work happens in Harrison County, and a lot of our work happens in the city of Biloxi. So saying that, I'm proud to say that we hold many fundraising events throughout the year, and one of the biggest and most popular is the United Way CEO Talent Show. We have held this event for the last 3 years at Biloxi Civic Center, and the folks that we work with at Parks and Recreation could not be better to work with. So just, Jamie, I want to say that to you. But today, I respectfully ask this council to consider waiving part of the fee that United Way pays. It's $3,000. We have already made our deposit, and we respectfully ask for a $1,500 discount. We bring about 300 people, corporations and businesses by the tables and come into our beautiful Civic Center. And I hope that there is spinoff recognition in business from us having our folks come to our event. That raises money for United Way of South Mississippi. I will tell you, 98.5 cents of every dollar we raise hits the street at Moore Community House, at the Center for Nonviolence, at CASA, at St. Vincent de Paul Community Pharmacy, and Catholic charities, and I can't name them all because I'm not sitting at my desk. But so many of our citizens reach out to United Way every single day. I can't tell you how many people were given food boxes from United Way of South Mississippi in the SNAP crisis. When I called Moore Community House and I said, how many people are on SNAP? He said 100%. We made sure that those families had food during that crisis. So I'm just telling you these things, know that we are owners in Biloxi, not renters. And I hope that you'll consider that request. I'll answer any question that you have.
I think that's good enough. Thank you, Mrs. Springer.
Thank you.
Mr. Creel wants a final word, but before, I just got a couple of texts. Sonic said I left them out, and also Secret Sirens Dress Shop said I left them out too. And I don't mean to leave anybody out if you're watching out there. There's several more, but I just wanted to make that point. Mr. Creel wants a final word.
I'd be remiss if I didn't make sure you mentioned tailgaters. You left out tailgaters.
I was going to allow you that privilege. I know you got a permanent seat there.
Just so you know, I mean,
okay.
That was the biggest thing. But no, also, congrats on St. Patrick's. However, our own Biloxi boys soccer team did win South State champions. So congratulations to them. And Coach Hopkins and his staff, they do a great job with those young men. My only question that I had left, and I apologize, I hope this isn't long-winded, is can you give me a brief explanation and how do we determine from the consent agenda to the policy agenda? How do we say this one goes in the consent agenda and this one we make into an ordinance or a policy? For example, Encore Sanger, why wouldn't Encore Sanger stand by itself instead of put it in the consent agenda? Just to bring that up.
Well, the ordinance talks about policy and what's a policy and what's not, and it's generally just set by council president and the administration. If it's typically, it's a service contract, this is a professional service contract, and those are typically on the consent agenda.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cribb.
Real quick, Kenny.
Mr. Gray.
Just sounds like Ward 6 and Ward 5 is really busy over there. You know, Ward 1 and 2 is like the country down here. It's quiet. We do have 2 Waffle House and a lot of, we have a lot of seafood markets down here. So, I mean, just in case y'all want to come down here where it's peace and quiet, we got plenty of empty lots down here ready to build on. Just like, you know, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
And we also got a recreation center, a community center we'll be working on coming there too.
I'll come back to you on that.
A casino.
You ain't got no amusement park.
Gentlemen, we'll come back to everybody on that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the policy agenda. The clerk would read the first item.
No item.
Oh, I'm sorry. Citizens' comments. Anybody have any comments? All right. We'll start on my left. You're right. I just want to set some ground rules. Raise your hand to be recognized. You'll come up to the front, state your name and address for the record, and then also if you would write it legibly on the form that's provided at the front. So raise your hand to be recognized. Yes, sir, right here in the front. Start with you.
Bear with me 1 second. Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, I'd like to say the mayor's idea to impose a tax on hotels, motels for nightly fee for revenue for the city of Biloxi is absolutely brilliant. I think it should be reevaluated. Y'all should take it up in the workshop session. No downside to it. And if you don't believe it works, look at Las Vegas, folks. It certainly has not hurt the revenue out in Las Vegas. And hotels charge a whole lot more, $3 or $4 a night.
Sir, can I have you state your name and your address for the record?
Sure. My name is Jerry Gammons, KMMONS, 132 Edgewater Drive in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Thank you.
Okay. The motel tax is a no-brainer. There's no downside. It's not going to hurt anybody. I'm adamantly opposed to spending any money unless and until council fully funds the Biloxi Police Department. Defund the police was the dumbest thing you guys have ever done. I don't want to live in a Gulfport or Moss Point situation. 5 of y'all voted against the Biloxi Police Department. How does that make those people feel when they go to work every day? Y'all cut their legs off and not want to support and fully fund the police department. Very, very stupid idea. I've looked at your wish list, be paid by the bond, and be honest with you, there's only 3 items, in my opinion, that should be considered critical, and that is to re-roof the police department, repair the police generator system, and possibly the air conditioning at the visitor center. Everything else is a wish list that could hold off until next year's budget items that is not a necessity to be done right away. Dumbest idea on the list that I saw was on the website, Paul Tisdale's, and maybe it was a joke, but he wants to spend $300,000 to buy a neighbor's house that's got a drainage problem. That's an absolute abuse and waste of taxpayers' dollars. Somebody's indiscretion or poor decision or landscaping to buy their house and spend our money to pop up their house. Gentlemen, Biloxi doesn't have a revenue problem. We've got a spending problem. And that could be easily toned down with a little effort and leadership on your behalf. Biloxi needs to stop funding projects such as Coast Transit, multiple museums, multiple libraries that could all be consolidated, and even Cruising the Coast is a cash cow. They print money. They don't need our contributions to stay afloat. City Council, I would ask you to look at this money as if it's your personal bank account for your family. You would pay for the essentials first, like the police department, the fire department, utilities, before you start buying cake and ice creams to eat every night at your house, if it was your personal money. This should be something that can be easily done, needs to be paid attention to. Again, I can't say enough. I think the mayor's idea was brilliant, wouldn't cost anything, could easily be done. Sanger Theater, I would vote adamantly that you manage that in the city. There's a person in the city on your payroll now that could do this, that's had experience in this type of operation. We don't need to give away 70% of our revenue to somebody else to give us the crumbs to manage it. That could easily be done within the House. I've been a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you, sir. Your time has expired.
Thank you very much.
Because his name was mentioned, I'm going to give Councilman Tisdale a brief moment to respond, just because his name was mentioned.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Gammons, I appreciate your comments sincerely. However, it was not a priority of mine to add the property on Sheridan Court to that list. I just wanted you to be aware of that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. All right. Anyone else on my left, your right? First hand went up right there.
My name is Lizzie Williams, and I live at 575 Jefferson. Since the city council and the city of Biloxi cannot find the money to infrastructure project in the area which I live in, I'm still with the foul odor of water. The city and flush the line, the water clears up 3 or 4 days, and it's back. I have to call the city constantly to come out and flush the line to keep the foul odor from my water in my house. I also would like, since they don't have a schedule to put a project over in Ward 2 over here, that will lay the city, put on a time schedule, at least come out twice a week or your further water project.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am, in the back. Need you to state your name and address.
Yes, I'm Samantha Hillner, otherwise known as Collins, my maiden name. I live at 2576 Sheridan Court, which has already been mentioned. I was brought to Mississippi by military orders. I'm active duty, and I moved here in 2022. Upon my first arrival in my home, 6 days in, I had flooding issues. It was a minor rain. And so here is just a quick example. Sorry that it's sideways here, but this is what I deal with on just simple rains. It goes into my garage out here. This is the side of my home, and water just, it's ruined so many things of mine. When I first moved in, all my military awards got ruined. I was not aware of this flooding situation. This not only causes flooding water issues, it's also caused foundation issues, which I do have a foundation warranty, but they told me they can't do anything real fix unless the water gets away from the home. It's also in the middle of the home. It's raising up, kind of being like this. If you stand in my home, you'll notice that this kind of happens. So there's foundation issues. Also, what comes with that, mosquitoes. Now there's mold development within my garage. I have 3 small children. I have a husband who was just diagnosed with cancer. I would just like to not have to live in something like this. And I'm about to move. I am supposed to move to Tinker on May 2026. And how am I going to be able to sell a home like this? I can't, in good conscience, be able to sell this to someone and who would want to buy a home like this. All I think I have to say. Hopefully that kind of gets across. I know that there was a bond consideration, and I'm very grateful that it was at least put on the list. It was number 40. And whether or not that bond goes through, or if there is another way to kind of help with the situation, I know that I've spoken with Ms. Lavada, that there's no funds to help fix this issue, drainage issue. If there is any other way to help fix this, put a storm drain, whatever there is by it, that would be so helpful in my situation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? My left? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Janet Cavanaugh, and I'm very passionate about why I'm here, so if I cry, I'm sorry. I live at 1745 Ridgeway in Biloxi. I've been here all my life, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the families, grandparents, parents, and most importantly, the children of Biloxi Youth Baseball regarding ongoing issues at A.J. Holloway Sportsplex. I'm here to speak, while we appreciate the recent upgrades to the artificial turf, playing surfaces, and other improvement, there's a significant issue that has gone unresolved for at least 2 years. The scoreboards have no power and do not work. Parents and grandparents have been reportedly told that the scoreboards would be fixed, yet here we are years later, still without working scoreboards. We have brought this attention to the Biloxi Youth Baseball Board, Ronnie Seymour, Sports Director, Sherry Bell, former Parks and Recreation Director, Jamie Lee, current or interim Parks and Recreation Director. Unfortunately, the response has consistently been excuses and finger pointing. We are told Coca-Cola was supposed to replace the scoreboards or that someone else is responsible. And it has become a constant pass the buck situation while nothing actually gets done. I've also been told by Mr. Lee that I am the only one that complained about this issue. Well, I have acquired a list of over 90 people that have the same problem that I do. In addition to our scoreboards, the public address system, PA system, has not worked since our boys were very young. Our children are now 12 years old, and this is their final year in Biloxi Youth Baseball. They have never once had the experience of hearing their names announced when coming up to bat or scoring a run. That may seem like a little issue to some, but to these kids, it means everything. Our children deserve to hear their names called. Parents and grandparents deserve to know the score, the inning, and the number of outs without having to interrupt others who are trying to watch their children play the ball. This is a basic functionality at a baseball park. Another concern is that the local Biloxi children are frequently pushed aside because tournament ball takes priority. These are city parks funded by taxpayers, yet the very families who support this league often find their children unable to utilize the fields. We're not asking for luxury, we're asking for working scoreboards and a functioning PA system. And I hope that you can put the children of Biloxi first before finances. And I appreciate the work you have done to get that. It's beautiful, but it's sad we don't have anything to help us. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else on my left, your right, that would like to speak? Anyone on my right? Mr. Silvestre.
Bob Silvestro, 181 Irish Street. Iris. First, before I say anything, part of the reason that I've done a lot through this up with the town when I moved here. Big town, small town kind of thing. I want to tell you just a little something. I sent a note into the about trash. Birds, ticket, all you do for your neighborhood.
Can you pull the mic a little bit closer?
On these mics fixed? Okay. And then we had a problem with crime rising in our neighborhood. Within 2 days, Chief Chris took the time to have me meet him in his office for half an hour. We had a problem with sewer drainage. Chris fixed in a day. And I just wanted to say that I had personally drove out to where the old park is at the Beauview School and witnessed a contractor for AT&T dumping sludge on there. Within 15 minutes of letting code enforcement know, they had gotten that person, he was taken care of, and AT&T was back cleaning up that property. Jerry has spoken to the owner of the property that they're going to do something. So my only question I have is, we both know that 200-something people signed a petition and hundreds of people have complained about the Broadwater. Why isn't anything being done? It's that simple. And I got to tell you right now, what is going on in there now is sinful. It shouldn't happen. We have people who physically got off their feet, went to the methadone clinic, got their lives back together, got jobs, got working. They can't afford a place to live, I get it. But then you got people coming into the area, taking advantage of them, and they don't need much of an excuse to get back on drugs. So we're at a breaking point. One last thing to leave. I understand whoever owns the school is moving forward with some new homes. I want to make a suggestion one more time. It would be nice if they got together with the citizens for a little thing, just discuss what their plan was moving forward. So this doesn't become another social media combat. We actually want things there. We're worried about traffic, but other than that, thanks guys for trying to be there for us when we want stuff. I know you got a lot of problems that I didn't create, but thank you.
Thank you.
Coming over with a chainsaw and help couldn't do as an old man. He was there in an hour.
All right, we'll continue on my right, your left. Raise your hand to be recognized. Lana.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to mention, my name is Lotta Bernachelli. I'm the chairman of the Biloxi Beautification Commission, that this Saturday, February 28th at 10 a.m., the Lighthouse parking area, we are working in collaboration with Biloxi Rotary for a beach cleanup. It's open to the community. There'll be a volunteer sign-in sheet. If any of your kids go to St. Pat's, Biloxi needs service hours, this would be a great event. Again, it's this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Lighthouse parking area. It's also on Keep Biloxi Beautiful Facebook page, so spread the word. Anybody that would like to help and get involved in keeping Biloxi beautiful. Thank you. And I think the tree committee's got something going on too, the tree giveaway, so you might want to check into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? My right, your left. Raise your hand to be recognized. Anyone in the back of the room? Come on up.
Not know. My name is Susan Hunt.
Who? Who?
I just want to tell you, you don't know this, but I'm on the agenda for today. At 2471, 2 Majestic Oaks. And y'all of you that knew my mother would be extremely elated because she loved trees and this community. So I thank you very much. And I'm not as old, David, as the Majestic Trees. Just want to make sure you know that, son. Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Anyone else in the room? Anyone did I miss, or you were reluctant, and now you changed your mind, you want to come up here and speak? Yes, sir. Mr. Lyles.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Quentin Lyles. I reside at 525 Marigold in D'Iberville. But I'm coming to speak on behalf of the farmers market. I know Mr. Gray spoke earlier about the farmers market, but I just want you to take in consideration that moving it to 1 day a week is going to hurt a lot of citizens, especially the seniors who look for those fresh fruits and vegetables throughout the season to get that. So just think about the citizens, because with Biloxi, not just East Biloxi, but Biloxi as a whole, those fresh fruits and vegetables will be great. And if you just move it to 1 day a week, and plus the vendors, their food's going to go to waste if they don't sell it on that 1 day. So give them 2 days to give them an extra opportunity to sell their goods. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lyles. Anyone else? Anyone else? Raise your hand to be recognized. If not, public comments is now closed. We'll move on to the policy agenda. Clerk would read the first item.
Resolution designating 2 live oak trees, majestic trees, at 2471 West Shore Drive.
Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel.
I'll second.
Second, all right, seconded by Wayne. Any discussion, Mr. Creel?
I think Ms. Hunt said it the best. We'll leave it at that.
Anyone else?
I didn't, I thought Miss Hunt was like 20. I didn't, so. That's all I have.
All right.
That's right.
Anyone else? Call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Resolution passes unanimously. Mr. Hunt, Ms. Hunt. All right. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Gulf Coast Running Club for the Point Cadet Pavilion.
All right. Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Is there a second? Is there a second for discussion? There being no second, the item fails to grant the waiver. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with First Missionary Baptist Church of Biloxi for the Biloxi Civic Center.
Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Marshall.
Second.
Second by Mr. Creel. Mr. Marshall.
Pastor Dickey. Yes, sir. I know what I told you earlier. I changed my mind. Step up for me, brother. I promise. Let me be clear. I don't want the pastor to say I lied to him. Yeah, because we ain't going to get no sermon today. Okay, Pastor, can you explain to them the organization that you're representing and what you guys are trying to do?
Our church, First Missionary Baptist Church, a part of our association, our Gulf Coast Association, 28, 30 churches. And as the moderator, I've been there for roughly 1 year. I have the opportunity to host what is called the Moderator's Banquet, which is scholarship funds for those students that are graduating from high school, specifically up and down the coast, but one per church in our association. So we host them, and we look at about 300 individuals that come to Biloxi across the whole day. They have the opportunity not only to participate with there at the Civic Center, but have an opportunity to also come and be a part of the things that are offered here in the city of Biloxi. So this is why we wanted to showcase and host this event that is annual. It's been on for 22 years. And just so happened for the past 2 years, I've been blessed to have it. And this is our second time hosting it. And so we hope, with the council's favor, that we'll continue to host it and then put the additional funds that you allow us with the room fees being reduced. Those can go to scholarship as well.
All right, thank you,
All right.
Councilman.
Any other discussion?
Nothing further.
I do have one more thing to say. First of all, congratulations on being the moderator. First Missionary Baptist Church is one of the go-to churches in our community. Anytime we need something done, anytime we have the issues, we can go and count on them to show up, and in the old church way, we say show up and show out. They do their part in the community. The fact that this church sits in East Biloxi, is in Biloxi. Of all the pastors of all those churches, 28 to 30 different churches, I think that him bringing this to our community is what we need. It shows that we are on the edge on the edge of our growing. We don't mind helping those who are helping others, and if this is going to help him and his organization to get more scholarships out, great. 300 people come into that community is what it's designed for, and I ask that my fellow city council members to support this. Thank you.
Incidentally, Council Marshall, and to the rest of the council and mayor, First Missionary will be celebrating 180 years as a congregation. I believe we're the oldest congregation in Harrison County and one of the second oldest on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So we definitely take pride in showcasing not only Biloxi, but also First Missionary Baptist Church.
Thank you, Pastor. We hope you're here for another 108 more years. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Tisdale.
With all due respect, staked out my position early in this fiscal year, and I don't approve many facility rental waivers. There are a handful that I have done with good reason, so I won't support it today, and there are several others I won't support, but there are a couple I will support. I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Dickey. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Gray?
This don't have anything to do with this one, but at some time, we're going to have to look at giving so many reductions, because right here, we have 10 on here today, and that can range anywhere from $10,000 to $13,000 in reductions. You know, some of these, you know, actually we help, you know, churches and Women's for Nonviolence, things like that. But a lot of these, you know, we understand everybody needs a reduction, but it just seems like here lately, everybody has action for 50% to 100% reduction in fees. So eventually, we're going to have to start looking at this and start making a decision whether they get a 10% or a 20% reduction. So maybe we need to have a workshop or something to go over this to try to figure out what we need to do, because I'm pretty sure so far this year, we probably done gave away maybe $50,000. I mean, I'm not for sure, or a little more than that. So, I mean, at the end, we probably over $1 million if we do it for the whole year. That's all I have.
In regards to our...
Councilman, President, if I may.
Sure.
Councilman Gray, I certainly understand having sat where you sat. But remember one thing, as you're reducing, there's more opportunities that they will come and do other things. They will go into your shopping establishment. They will go, we're not advocating. I can't stop a car going in there. So these things, you're helping mainly the nonprofit in terms of, you know, reproducing, doing things. But on the back end, I will see that you will get that and greater, because let's face it, people want to come to Biloxi. The doors are open for business. The doors are open for tourist attraction. They want to come to Biloxi, and we want to be on the front end to welcome them to Biloxi. So I'm in agreement with you. I think it should be something perhaps in the future after you approve ours, you know.
Pastor, so if I heard you right, that we could expect them to show up at Tailgaters and Pop's Pizza? And you said you were going to guarantee that. I do have a couple questions, Pastor. Before you get up, I do have a couple.
One more thing, Kenny.
Serious. Go ahead.
Cal can
Go
respond.
ahead, Wayne.
We do, when we look at these, we actually do look and see how many hotel rooms are coming, how many people's coming. We do look at this, so some of these, we do look at.
Yes, sir.
And it's not as, because we need them to come in and help feed our economy, and that's what we do. So some of these, it just seems like everybody is just asking here lately, and that's why we have to kind of look at it when we're in a deficit, so we need to look at trying to save money also. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Appreciate that. On a serious note, a couple of questions. So if this wasn't approved, first of all, how many delegates are coming? How many people?
Minimum 300.
300 people. So if this wasn't approved, what happens? I mean, I think it'll be approved, but if it was not approved for the discount, what happens?
They have to take a collection up between the mayor and the council.
Okay. All right.
It will still go.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Let me follow up on that. Of all the things that the pastors, what you got is 30 churches coming here as a congregation. They're coming for a purpose, one, to raise money for scholarships. So every dollar that we save them, what he's saying is that goes to their scholarships. They're not making money, they're not profiting off of this in any way. They're just trying to raise money for the scholarships for that church organization. The fact that he's able to bring these people to us, this group to us, is just wonderful. That's what we're looking for, and we need to support it. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank both councilmen for your point of view. I think there's maybe in the future there's some kind of middle ground there we need to come up with. But all right, if there's no other discussion, I'd like to call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion passes 6-1, Pastor. 6-1. Twin chickens. Tailgaters. All right. Move on to the next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Coastal Family Health Center for the Biloxi Civic Center.
Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? There being no second, resolution does not pass to provide a reduction. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Mississippi Rural Water Association for the Biloxi Civic Center.
All right. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Is there a second? Is there a second? I'll move it for discussion. Mr. Creel.
Okay, so looking at 4G, the heading is authorizing entry, but then in parentheses it says reduction of 3,500. As you go through the resolution, it says it's 6,000 plus a security deposit of 1,500. However, when you go down to the bottom, it says the rental fee is being reduced to $3,000. So if we're reducing it 3,500, but we're reducing the fee to 3,000, the math's not mathing. So if it's 6,000 with a $1,500 deposit and we reduce it to 3,000, but we're reducing it by 3,500, we're minus some money somewhere.
What's your name, ma'am? And what do you do? What's your name? What do you do?
My name is Rachel. I did not resolution. I apologize that I don't have you a good answer on that, but I did want to make it clear that our reductions are not including security deposits, what we're putting up there in the premise. That's strictly the revenue.
Okay, so if it's 6,000 and we're reduction to 3,500, then we should reduce the fee to 2,500.
There's probably some rental in there, like a dance floor or something.
Well, at the proper time, I'd like to make a motion to table it until we can clear that up.
That one.
Right.
Didn't we just give them a reduction on something else?
We did to the, it was something at the Point Cadet Plaza for,
Rachel, I got a question. Do you know how many delegates that they're planning to bring?
I do not. I'm sorry, I did not handle.
No, that's okay. Yes, sir. That's me. All right, come on up. We'd like to hear from you, sir. Need to come up here, state your name. Come on up. Yep, all the way up here. State your name and your position and give us some information.
Thank you for your time. My name is Perry Bridges. I'm representing Mississippi Rural Water. We're a nonprofit that provides technical assistance and training to rural water system municipalities. We're going to have a training where we take men and women. They'll come about 150 total, July 20th through the 23rd. We're at the Civic Center. And they'll come from all over the state of Mississippi down here to learn how to be operators in the water wastewater business. Our mandate. So
how many people?
Usually it's around 150.
And how many hotel rooms do you think you utilize? Just asking, out of curiosity.
I mean, this is a good wag. I don't know, 50.
Your best guess.
60.
Okay. All right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Would you ever think of maybe the Gruage Center cut your costs down?
Excuse me?
The Gruage Center, it's just 150 people. So the Gruage Center is right across the street, and it's like a third of the cost.
You're asking the wrong guy, sir. I'm sure that's is that the one where the library or something? I think we've had.
No, you're the one that got the library.
Okay.
One across the street.
We've done both of those there, so I don't know why this one was chosen, the logistical part of it. They sent me down here to represent the organization today. When I told you hello, I told you all I knew about that.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Mr. Creel.
So maybe they need to table it so we can maybe look at maybe doing the other one with 150 people.
Mr. Creel, what is your motion?
I'd like to table this to get more clear language and some definitions.
1 week, okay?
1 week's perfect.
When do we meet again?
Next week.
All right, 1 week.
I'll
Or table 1 week.
All right, Mr. Creel has a motion to table this item 1 week to clean it up and make sure we got accurate information. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Just remember, they're the one that cleans our water to drink.
All right.
Well, he's teaching.
All right, we're voting, to be clear, we're voting on the motion to table. So all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 6-1. Be tabled for 1 week. All right. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with United Way of South Mississippi for the Biloxi Civic Center.
All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. Discussion? Mr. Creel?
So this is a 2-day event. It's a reduction of 1,500. So in essence, we're charging them for 1 day and waiving the additional day, but the deposit is not waived as well.
Okay, Mr. Shoemaker?
Nothing further.
Any other discussion? Any other colleagues? All right, all in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries, I think it was 5-2. Okay.
And just to further real quick, Councilman Gray, to further your point about identifying these, as mentioned last week, we do non-departmental allocations, and we have some people that receive those allocations that come back for further rental facility reductions. However, United Way is not one, so thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Creel. Next item.
Resolution rescinding resolution number 71325 and authorizing facility rental agreement with the Mississippi Department of Employees Security.
Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Gray. Discussion, Mr. Creel.
All right, a few things here. So this is, I know we rescinded Resolution 713. However, Resolution 713, I believe, was for 6,000, and then when we do the new resolution, it's for 2,000. Also, both resolutions were for the full Civic Center. So I just want to make sure that the numbers are correct based on the two.
The numbers are correct. The original resolution was pricing for 2 days because they had 2 dates listed. Really what they're doing is set up. We have a building access fee of $100 an hour. They're going to be accessing this building during normal working hours. This one is done as 1 day of rental with 8 hours of building access for them to set up the day.
Perfect. That was my next question. Thank you.
Who seconded? Mr. Shoemaker? Mr. Shoemaker.
Any comments?
We'll come back. It wasn't? Mr. Gray? All right.
And I was talking about earlier, some things that we got to look at that deserve, I guess, or maybe look at doing a reduction, and the unemployment, department is probably be one of them. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. You got a comment?
Yeah, if I could add, guys, keep in mind, this is one that we approved previously, so they just changed dates.
We just cleaned it up a little bit. All right, any other discussion?
None.
There being none, Chair will call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 6 to 1. All right, next item.
Who opposed?
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with the American Red Cross for the Biloxi Visitor Center.
Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Tisdale. Discussion, Mr. Creel.
Let's save a life and donate blood, and especially this is near and dear to City of Biloxi's heart, Officer McKeithen's blood drive.
Thank you. Mr. Tisdale.
Nothing to add, thank you.
All right, any other discussion by anyone else? All in favor? Those opposed? Motion unanimous. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with the American Red Cross for the Biloxi Visitor Center.
Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Creel, seconded by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel, you have the floor.
Save another life. Battle the badge, blood drive.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Next item.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence for the Lighthouse Pavilion.
All right, Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Mr. Gray. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Gray?
Like I said, this is one that I would support. They need our help more than a lot of these other ones that we voted on. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Shoemaker?
Absolutely a great organization. They're out there doing God's work. I'd support it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. Any other discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Creel?
So this is one that we do a non-departmental allocation for each year. And if I'm not mistaken, aren't they in conjunction with isn't it two organizations that work side by side, this one and the Women's Center Nonviolence?
Is there anyone here representing Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence?
They work side by side, not the same thing, but work side by side? Okay. Okay. And then this is for Easter egg hunt, if I'm not mistaken. Correct. All right, thank you.
All right, any other discussion? Call for the question, all in favor? Those opposed? Did you get those?
Is it 5-2?
All right. All right, need a motion on the consent?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel?
All right, let's see here. I guess let's just get to item 5F real quick. Looking at the contract, I just had, questions on, if we go to Exhibit A in the contract, item 2A, the manager shall be responsible for the day-to-day functions. Would this be included, the punch list that's currently being in existence or being developed?
The punch list has been addressed, and I think in the next couple of weeks, I think those punch lists that Rafe and the whole organization, I'm going to back up. Yeah, we're doing is handing over as much as we can, as complete as we can, them to investment into additional things that we'll do to make productions and some of these other things are possible, and expand the reach and the functionality of this great facility. We're going to do as much as we can with the budget we have. I think we're finishing, refinishing a floor, doing some of the nuts and bolts things too. So at the point, we'll hand it off. From a lighting standpoint, we'll have a lot done. From a hanging some of the curtains and some of the things that are good. So to hand it off, and they will continue and actually add. That's one of the good things. I'm shooting from the hip here, but bottom line, we're going to hand it off, and then we'll be able to count on them to bring the business in. This is a contract that's a lot different than the ones we've examined in the past. It was always funding of one or two positions, and the ability to put a few dollars, for food and beverage. But this is a really complete and I think a very impressive approach to what we need to do. We got some fine ideas, and we're going to get it as complete. I think we have about 74,000 to complete what we are going to do, and I think they're prepared to understand this is what we have to hand over, and they can begin their productions and then work in the additional sets and some of the maybe video and some of those things as we go forward.
All right, moving on.
Answer your question, I believe.
Yeah, certainly there. Now, moving on to 2G, the manager, which is indicative of Encore, will have the right to establish the rental rates for the theater as well as establish all ticket prices. Is there any city oversight on, or input rather, as to what those rental fees for the theater and/or ticket prices may be?
I think it's a determination of a type of events and so forth, and the duration. And if there's certainly, and we got to leave it. We're not the professionals, but they do have enough of that management expertise in the different various types of events. And I think that's why the state has indicated you need to have a third party come in with an approach, and that was required to do that from the archives and history. That so this fits all the needs and of what we need to do with the state, but yet depend on this group to put it into high gear.
Okay, and then moving on to 2H, and I hate that Peter's not here, but question is the manager will prepare signed rental agreements, require insurance, make other requirements of theater clients, provide service. Is there any city legal oversight on those rental agreements, or is that based on the Encore's legal representation to make sure?
I think that's to be worked out within our legal and their legal, but it's a cooperative effort to understand. We're in the middle of those kinds of agreements, even internally for our civic center, for our different things. So maybe a combination what we've done in the past for recital folks or the choirs and stuff like that. I think it'll be collaborative. I don't say we have a total veto, but I don't envision any obstacles in determining. Is that fair to say, Matt?
So that would go coincide with.
In case he has any.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, Matt, come on up and grab the seat. And that would go forward to item 2K, which the manager shall be responsible for the development and implementation of all marketing advertising plans for theater. I'm assuming that would go coincide with Cecilia and you guys as far as advertising with B News and/or the city website.
Absolutely, and again, I'm thinking, and we're thinking pretty much 100% that this got a tremendous facility. And we're going to hand the keys to them with regard to, it's their opportunity to make it very successful. And I think all indications, I think our energy is there, and we're in sync. Is that fair to say?
And which you, while you're sitting there, and I hate to put you on the hot seat, but the next item, number 3, time is of the essence. And it says that in this contract, that the time is of essence, and we'll have the theater open to the general public with at least one event on or before June 1st, 2026. You're comfortable with that?
Yes, we're comfortable with that. As long as we definitely can't put on a big production like a theater show or anything like that, but any type of event, we will be ready to open the doors.
Let me say, my thoughts are, we're going to get some curtains up, and we're going to have some not audio visual, but at least PA, and I think floors in place, clean, operational, and it'll be just up to our imagination to put those things as fast as we can that are beneficial and within the thoughts and range of the events that y'all want to attack. So.
Okay. 5.
Something. We'll do something.
Yeah.
There'll
be an event July or June 1st.
The meat and potatoes, 5A, 70/30. You and I had a discussion earlier about ticket prices when I'd mentioned the oversight of ticket prices, and you had mentioned that some acts come in and they determine their ticket prices when they do come in, and with the caveat that you had mentioned that there might be a 30% VIG to the city. This contract says it's equal to 30%. So is that on the way this reads, Mayor, and like, once again, I hate Peter's not here, but it says, including but not limited to all amounts received from the sale of tickets, concessions, merchandise, theater rental fees, and the like. So is it 30% of each item, or is it 30% of the total? I think
So they're accountants, and again, going through the ballpark, going through the Coliseum, we made mistakes in the past, the city has, but I can tell you, this deal is not a mistake. It's the very best operational conditions yet, 30%.
So it's not 30, so if it's just a ticket price and we may get 10% out of that, but we'd make it up with the difference in.
Everything from a merchandise, from a sale, from the operational situation, and we've got some accountants on their staff that I'm very comfortable with. The deal is the deal. You sell a $10 beer, we got $3.
Okay, all right, so if they sell a $10 ticket and that's set by, we get $3 off of that as well. So I had this conversation earlier with Mr. Marver, and there may not be a 30% VIG available to the city on some events.
It's my understanding, and I could be wrong, Mayor, but any events that Encore Singer puts on and puts the ticket price out, that 30% will go to the city.
Okay.
Ticket price. But if we get somebody in that's a national act per se, that's not up to us. We don't get any of that ticket. We get the rental. We get the rental for them to come to the theater.
Get the rental.
We pay for them to. We pay for their act to come down, but we don't get any.
So if someone rents the Sanger, we don't get ticket price.
No, my understanding.
Yeah, 30% of what we receive. If we don't receive anything, there's nothing
on
to
the
get.
Gross.
Okay.
On the books. Yeah.
Well, can I piggyback on that?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
That's kind of
that was a delay for a reason.
So let's say our organization came down and they rented it.
Yeah.
And they sold their own tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They keep all their money, and we get nothing but just a rental.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep. 30% of the rental.
30, that's right. Whatever they bring in, whatever they net.
I mean, we run the concessions too, so they get 30% of the concessions. You get 30% of any merchandise sold, but that's Encore Singer or Biloxi merchandise. I mean, we can't take money from them when they make their own merchandise. That's their merch table. That's
Mm-hmm. So let's say we was able to get like an organization like the Elks came down, the Masons came down, and they did a big gospel show. Mm-hmm. So they keep all their money. Let's say they were selling T-shirts too. Mm-hmm. They allowed to do that?
As far as I'm concerned, yes, sir. But
we get nothing out of that?
We'll
Hold on, get to the mic.
Get to the mic. Get to the mic.
Your name.
Let's say, for example, the civics. Every person that rents the Civic Center, there's MMA.
Convention Center.
Huh?
Convention Center.
Civic Center, that's all city.
Okay.
Okay. There's no way to enforce if somebody rents the building. We don't charge. You're getting the fee for the building. The city cannot enforce a ticket tax on top of that, or you know what I'm saying. And it's the same scenario. If we rent the building, we're getting a rental fee. We're kicking up to the city. Now, anything that Encore Singer does, for example, if we print $10 T-shirts at cost, we sell them for $12. We lose $1, but you get $3. So we kick up whatever the actual group produces. If we bring in Matt Rife, spend $50,000. It does $100,000 at the gate. You get $30,000. We keep 20. We get our 50 back off the top. So y'all get money before we do our reality.
So
We call that a commission, not a kick, okay?
Okay, so next, to further that, let's say you rent the facility to a group that comes in. Mayor, are we keeping all concessions in-house, or do they, for example, if the Coliseum, you go to the Coliseum, they keep their concessions?
Profit is going to handle the concessions. If they come in, the city still receives their percentage from the concessions from their event. But if they sell tickets, we can't touch the ticket.
No, but we do handle the.
For them to sell the ticket, it's a rental fee that.
Yeah, and then
the commission will be the 30% on what you rented the building.
And then regardless of who sells tickets, if there's an event or not, we're going to add, it might only be $2.50, a usage fee for the singer, and that money will be set aside or given back to the city for repairs, for the building. So we project every ticket from here on out is going to have a list of little fees or subcontracted to another.
But we are controlling the concessions 100% for every act.
Yes.
But no matter who did it.
There might be circumstances, for instance, if the city comes in or somebody, we can negotiate that, but I would say 90%.
Who else would handle them? Because that's an issue we're having right now with the stadium.
We're not.
With the stadium, we get zero off the concessions.
Well, say, for instance, if the city comes in, wants to host an event, we're not going to tell you, hey, you can't sell alcohol, you got to buy it through us, rent us the building. So certain circumstances, but I would say at least 90% responsible profit off the concession sold.
Yeah, and that would be the 30% commission that would run, just like our mart used to be, and
That's right.
all these other things.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if they rent the facility, they don't. For example, you rent the Civic Center, you bring your own. You rent the Gruid Center, you bring your own. If you rent the Sanger, I don't want you bringing your own.
No. We're gonna have all of the proper health permit.
Every food and beverage
permit.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay.
There'll be options for people to, quote, do that very limited cases. It's not going to be everybody that opportunity.
All right, furthering that, if on those that you just referenced, that would necessarily come to the council or to administration for approval, or it's based on?
No, it's based on the contractual things. Right. We want to make this up in volume, and they have the ability to reach and get volumes and things the events that we've never even, probably thought of at this point in time, or will come along. Some of the technology challenges that are coming up.
Plenty of events, even though we're not fully operational at the moment, that we can still use the facility
to make money,
to bring revenue, to build it up. It's not going to be an instant success, but it's going to be instantly used.
All right, moving on to item 6 with utilities repair and maintenance. City's paying all the utilities and then the city's going to maintain the structure. So the question I have is, when it says maintains the structure, it says unless such maintenance or repairs required by reason of intentional neglect, but the everyday maintenance, the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, all of that, is that at the city as well?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a brand new building, and and we don't expect things like we've done over the last 10 years, even at the ballpark.
Okay.
And so that's the anticipation. normal, even at the building insurance, the building insurance.
Yeah, the building insurance we have,
They'll handle any contents insurance or coverage.
Right.
And indemnify the city even for the events, I think. So that's all pretty much.
So next thing, I know you guys have a 501c3 arm in the fundraising. The last sentence, sponsorships are not subject to revenue sharing. So the sponsorships, so when you go out and sell your sponsorships, for example, I don't want to use an ABC rental company comes in and says, I want to sponsor your event, 100% of those proceeds go to Encore.
To the 501c3.
Okay.
And again, as we've discussed some of our ideas as far as selling opportunities for sponsorships for some of the people, in there. Now, there's some things we haven't, thought of yet, but basically, the whole idea, this whole scope of things, our original budget ask was $361,000, okay, to get that interior ready. We've spent as much as we can, especially with the infrastructure and with the constraints of the archives and history on what kind of plaster, what kind of color, what kind of, so we're right there, except for about $74,000, which we will expend as much as we can to there. The intent of the 30% is to offset and repay that economic development fund back, that 365. So that is not going into the general fund. It's going in to pay for whatever that 30% resolves and becomes. That's going to pay that back.
Okay, well, here's why this sentence about...
As well as some of the fundraising that we've already got in place.
Well, I guess that was my next question, is sponsorships are not, but the fundraising efforts such as what you have mentioned, that's still...
In addition to the things that we've already thought of, as far as selling bricks and selling spots within the city.
That's still 100% city?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So the ones that we've already identified, I mean,
That's right.
They may have new things that, again, but the intent is that sponsorship is going to go, or that revenue will go to the 501c3 to maintain and add those things that we're trying to enhance the product.
Mayor, clarify that sponsorship. Sponsorships, the city gets the sponsorship.
Yeah, we identified some places where you can sell, like.
We get 100% of the sponsorship, not 30%.
But if they do a sponsorship for an event, they get 100%.
So if Encore Sanger has a corporate sponsorship from Pepsi or Mississippi Power, we'll own 100% of the sponsorship that we get. But those funds belong to the 501c3 that we can put back into the Sanger for equipment like lights and sound and upgraded systems like that.
All right, so can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So what I understood you to say, if you get a sponsorship, you get 100% of it, but you can take part of that money and put it back into some of the maintenance or upgrades. How do we identify that? Who controls the discretionary decision on that, or is there something that triggers part of that has to go toward maintenance or improvements?
So for the corporate sponsorship, I don't think we have anything corporate sponsorship in our bylaws, but as a nonprofit, anything that we're making, we're putting back into our organization or the building as an extension of our organization. And per our bylaws, the nonprofit is established, hopefully not in my lifetime, but if God forbid anything ever happens and we have to do away with our nonprofit, any equipment that we purchase through those corporate sponsorships will revert to federal or city.
I get you. So I tuned in on what you said. So the funds that you collect for the sponsorship will either go to the organization or it goes back into the Sanger. Can we put some kind of minimum of that sponsorship that's at least a minimum is required to go back into the Sanger so it doesn't all go into the organization? And I can only assume the organization might be vehicles that you use or equipment, computers,
salaries,
licenses that you use to operate.
Correct.
So what I'm trying to avoid is that none of it gets back into the Sanger, and there should be something that triggers at least a minimum percent Like, for instance, on the stadium, we are required to put so much, it's a finite amount, but it was so much into the annual maintenance of that facility. So I'm just wondering if we need to kind of massage this a little bit so we ensure our best interests are taken care of.
Let me say
Is that
this,
all right?
I
Do you
think the
understand
intent of
what I'm saying?
501c3 in generating, say, one item we talked about is a video wall, right? So, if it was in effect to say, this is if we, in a fundraising mode, we might add a $200,000 video wall that you rent, rentable, that can be a money-making project, right, on that side. But that's the intent of the improvements and the sponsorships to enhance the production capacities.
Correct. My understanding, first off, this is a 100-year-old building. Our goal is that it's never not being in a state of restoration. There's stuff that will, talking about it's constantly going to, for the rest of its life, need some sort of restoration maintenance. Sponsorships, as we're looking at it, for like she said, for an example, a corporation comes in and says, we're going to give you $200,000 to buy new curtains. That 100% of that $200 goes to buy those new curtains. And like she said, at the end of the day, if something ever happens and we decide to part ways, that equipment stays at the Sanger. This also goes back to the $3 ticket fee that we're going to add on everybody that comes in. That is a restoration fee that is common in every old theater. The Beau Rivage Theater charges you a $3 restoration fee for their theater. That is money that we will set aside in an account that we will all have some discretion over, I do believe.
Yeah.
Or, oh, we need to fix this. Or for example, the dressing rooms on one of the sides need some work still. This money will go towards that. That'll be something we'll all discuss. And is correct.
Who's responsible for the ticketing services as far as?
Like when we bring in, like if it's a show that we have put together, or if it's something that we have Encore Sanger, we will be responsible for.
Well, no, I guess.
Rental.
I guess what I'm trying to say is the Ticketmaster side of it, or the actual printed ticket, and what system are you going to use? Yeah.
It's a company based out of Nashville, Tennessee, called TKO Tickets. They do not charge us $1. So the city, if we sell a $40 ticket, we receive $40. They charge the end user a fee for their services and processing fee.
Now, will you have point of sale as well, or just all online?
So we will print our tickets, they can come and scan up every other.
So the cost of that material to print the tickets and everything, that comes out of your 70%? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and I guess last but not least, for my discussion would be, after all of this is said and done, there will be an annual audit on the monthly reports. We will get monthly reports? Perfect, thank you.
If you're going to speak, sir, you need to come speak into the mic. That's okay. That's okay.
Depending upon the threshold of revenue, it may be a state requirement.
Gotcha.
Or review different levels of service.
And that would be, if it's required by the state, it's paid for by?
Generally, we.
Okay, all right.
Audit fee.
I just don't want, I'm trying to answer the questions that I know to ask without, I wasn't here with the prior establishment, so I'm trying to make sure hey, definition of a good deal is when you guys are happy and we're happy, so that's what we're trying to find.
All right, thank you, Mr. Creel. And Mr. Marshall.
So let's say that you guys did a naming right to the Singer Theater. You name it the Grand Singer Theater. You guys sold it. You guys get 100%?
Now, let me say this about that. We've got some ideas we've already talked to people about that. So, and that was kind of, these are other things as far as corporate sponsors. There's some things that Friends of the Sanger that were around, we've been addressing some things, but it's not a ton of money at this point in time. They're going to bring some things, selling bricks or selling spots inside the lobby. Those are things that we've already identified, which will, if we decide to pull that trigger, but it's not a...
We control the naming, we are going to control the naming rights. We're not going to wake up one morning
like
and...
the Keesler Federal at the ballpark is what we were thinking about.
But the city of Biloxi will have the authorization to approve the naming rights.
And that would go to whatever revenue we receive is going to go to offset that $361,000 that we borrowed from the economic development fund. Not going to the general fund, it's going to anything that this revenue is generated, going back to pay that $360,000 to the economic development fund.
Mr. Marshall, I'm sorry, you had the floor. I didn't mean
Yeah.
to step on that.
I'm still not answering the question. So when you guys sell a sponsorship, let's say you sold a sponsorship and it brought in $10,000. You take that, put that into your nonprofit? Okay. Who controls who's on the board of your nonprofit? Who's to say that we don't have anybody from our staff on your board, so we can't say whether or not you guys are paying yourselves an exorbitant amount, and we have no control over what you do with your revenues, and it's the city's money.
No one receiving compensation. Are you talking about that?
We don't know what your expenses are. We have no way of voting. We have no way of voting.
We have accountants, and we will be more than welcome to any point. We're 100%.
That's not what I'm asking.
The 501c3 is getting whatever that thing records as far as revenue is going to go to offset the expansion and capacity and ongoing restoration.
I don't understand. Like basically.
But there are 501c3s where when you look at when you go down and look at it, you got the CEO, the president. By the time you get through, they ate the salaries and the expenses and ate up all the money. There's no money left over. So what I'm asking you, what are the checks and balances? That's all. We're not accusing you of anything. I just want to know.
I mean, like Rolex, nonprofit tech. But we're not Rolex. We're not trying to operate. We're all not doing this for money. We're doing it for the love of people. Any dollar we get is going back. We have no means of personal gain. Don't want fame.
Our salaries or wages are related to that.
So there are no salaries? No wages? Wait a minute. She jumped up on the salary part.
Per our bylaws, employees of Encore Sanger cannot be on the board of directors, cannot set salaries. No one
So
on the
will there
board,
be salaries then?
no one on the board of director will be receiving compensation for
That's
their.
not what I asked you. Will there be employees with salaries?
It is possible that there might be hire someone to run tickets or concessions.
Are you willing to establish, is there a way we can establish some type of board where someone that represents the city can sit on that board also?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
We'd be happy to talk. Okay, I would be very uncomfortable. I'm not saying that if we had done this when we did the ballpark deal, I think things would have been go a little bit different.
That's exactly why we're in this situation. Exactly why we've addressed this group and some of the mistakes that have been made in the past. We're not making with this. And as far as this exact situation, it may not be 100%. We may have not anticipated everything, but I can tell you, I'm very comfortable with moving forward with the agreement that's here because it's in the best interest of our city and our citizens and the restoration that we've already invested.
So the answer, the answer was as far as your board, we can get a voice for this. My citizens would like to have a voice in there. This is their money.
It is.
I'm quite sure that if you're using the city's money.
I think that's what Matt said. We definitely could talk about that.
While there's not a position for on the board of directors for a representative of the city, that's something that we're absolutely willing to discuss amending our bylaws toward.
That would make me that would help out a lot if we had that. I would feel like if something's coming up and it might not be in the best interest of the city, they will speak up. And that's why,
Let me say one thing in addition to give you another comfort level. This is cancelable in 90 days. If there's something uncomfortable that happens, they're going to invest, we're going to invest together. And if there's some impasse, we got, I think we're in agreement that the contract says it.
We can fire each other is what you're saying. We have that trigger that's pretty easy.
Like old folks say, nothing beats an understanding. And the second thing is, nice to have a voice, a person in the room. So I think that we need a person in that room. We can work that out now. We can put this on the table and do a workshop.
No workshops. I think this is as transparent as it could possibly get with the people that are invested in love in Biloxi. I don't know what more, we have everybody in the room to explain anything that you might have right now.
Okay, so well, the question is, what will be the rule? Makes a motion or amendment to this contract, this agreement, that we have our member, a city representative on the board?
501.
So at our next meeting of the board, you guys all get an invite, and we write up as far as amendments. As a reminder, since we are a nonprofit and no one on the board is, one of you will have but we will be happy to have you.
We're not getting paid much anyway. Yep. Yeah. But I guess the amendment would be that, conditional, based on the condition that we have a voice on that board.
All right, let's continue discussion. Mr. Nail?
I got a simple question. How much is the rent for, and who's lined up? Let's do it. Make some money.
We currently have 7. We have 7 local companies who have offered to do productions at the Sanger Theater.
How much is the rent for?
So that is negotiable currently, because obviously we want to make sure that we're taking care of our local companies and for that they can.
Chime in and I'll recognize his.
The current market rate is between 20 and 25% of ticket sales, or for a flat fee, somewhere in the higher thought, like between 5,000 and 10,000, but that's all going to be
That's for one night?
depending on the size of the event and the corporation type of event.
All right, that's it.
All right. Let me go, and I need to recognize Tisdale. Come back to you, then Jamie. Shoemaker, you all ready? You all right if I come back to you last?
Yes.
All right. All right, I got a couple of questions. I don't want to forget some of this stuff. I know we talked about the 70-30% split. Is your 70% different from the sponsorships as far as it restricted, or does it all commingle and go into the same account? In other words, 70% of, that's easy.
Right.
So we know what our split is. We get our 30, you get to your 70. Sponsorships are different. Does all of that money get commingled, or does it go into designated accounts separately as that it's going to be used for something specifically? Do you understand what I said?
I do.
Okay.
So with the corporate sponsorship, as well as the 70% profit that we are making, all of that is going to go into our ongoing efforts to continue to restore the Sanger and to improve the Sanger with equipment and other necessities. At this point in time, I believe there is a plan to separate some of that money, just so that we have, like Rafe mentioned, we have a designated Sanger restoration for things specifically thing. But at this point in time, there isn't one. That's not.
So where does the money go for purchasing supplies, paying the hourly staff? You said somebody run the ticket booth or clean it or whatever. Where does that money come from?
Yes, so all of that is considered operational money for the 501c3.
Yeah.
That would all be included with either the, with our 70%.
Okay, all right. Going on the insurance, additional named insured versus additional insured, those are two different things. Y'all got an attorney on the board, or I understand that we're additional insured and not additional named insured. Has that been vetted, discussed?
So I've reached out to multiple carriers. I was trying to have a policy for today, just, hey, regardless
I
of.
understand. There's a difference, though, in additional named insured and additional insured.
So basically, anybody that rents the building have, like at the Civic Center, we have to have a general liability, totally separate from the building.
But is your policy additional named insured, or is it additional, because it says additional insured in the contract here. They're two different things. They mean two different. Additional insured, that's how it's going to be. So you're the additional named.
Counting about the question you had.
All right, that's okay. I'd revisit that because I read it differently, in here. Yes, sir. Are you going to answer and follow up? Okay. All right.
Financial.
Okay, I can switch gears. Go ahead.
Well, just I think you were talking about setting up the fund. The one thing I did want to add is nonprofits also do have donor restricted funds as well. So if we're given funds.
For the curtains, it would go into an account for the curtains specifically. Yeah.
Set aside.
I get that. Okay, no problem. I got one last one. I'll get on to my colleagues that has some questions. Buyouts, so food buyout. So at the Coliseum, you can do a food buyout, you can bring your own food in. Do y'all plan to have that trigger or that mechanism? No? There's no food buyouts, all concessions would have to be bought in. Same thing with liquor. The Coliseum has a liquor buyout, corkage fee, if you want to call it, or there's a fee for, they'll provide all the liquor and they'll tally it up at the end of the night and send the event planner or whatever a bill.
I don't think we've had that many.
Currently, with the current scope of the events that we're planning on hosting, we are going to own 100% of, Biloxi will own 100% of concessions sold. However, in the future, we decide to expand to accommodate things like if someone wants to have a wedding at the Sanger and they need to bring in their own catering and things like that, we'll revisit that at that time.
Okay, and then one last question on, you referenced the fee, the restoration fee. That's restricted for only improvements, maintenance-related items, so that would be a restricted for that. Cannot be used for hourly employees, equipment,
Correct.
anything. It's in the brick and mortar of the facility. Okay. Listen, I mean, these are questions, we're seeing some of this for the first time. I would recommend that you would also, when you know y'all probably putting some of these together, but what a contract looks like, and I know the contract can be different based on size, amenities, audio, visual, all that kind of stuff that they're asking for, but some of us up here, and I'll be like a sponge for that stuff, and I'd love to see what it looks like. That's all I have. Who needs to go next? Tisdale.
Yeah, a couple of questions. So did we put out a request for proposals or request for qualifications? Request for proposals?
We actually selected another company 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it's venture. Anyway, bottom line, all of the responses were us hiring somebody for $100,000, having a staff, having an office space, and it was not in the I guess in the pictures to move forward with that commitment to generate, I guess, the needed revenues that we would have.
Sure, but that RFP. No, I understand it's a service, but I'm thinking you had to gauge the interest, so you put something out there. That being the case, how many folks or groups were spoken with? 3. Okay, and why is this group the best of the 3?
Because again, all of them, required us to pay a salary for 2 people or a person to move forward with this, and then we would have a bigger end of the 30%. But it required putting $2 million into things they could to move forward with. This was again, about a year ago was the last folks we talked to, but this presented, I think, a unique professional way to handle this in a more local and sensitive to our specific market. That was the evaluation that we came to.
So I have to ask this question because earlier you said, this was a number of months ago, you said that you would raise the money or get donations for some of the improvements. I'm assuming you're still up to the task?
No question. I mean, we were in the middle of a lot of that until we came back with these ideas that brought to light. Again, I've always said that we could raise $500,000 easily, I think, together. But again, my goal in life was to pay that $360,000 that we've already put into the interior, and then run with it as fast as we can. We've got to build it. Answer me, I think it's further along than even y'all thought that we would be at this time. And we did that pretty much in-house and as we thought. So this was, I think, a unique set of things to come together, and we will be rocking and rolling in a few months.
All right, so my choice of words, not yours, but basically we have a rough venue, if you will, that needs some finishing in order to bring in bigger acts, if you will.
A little bit of furnishing.
Okay, so that's like a little bit of light cosmetic surgery, right? Okay. That being said, because there's a deadline that we're bumping into here, which is June 30th, right? June 1st, excuse me. We have to have an event there per one of the terms of the.
We never asked for an extension, but we could have. I mean, I don't think we dropped that, but there's some things we've already.
Right. So basically, this nonprofit understands that there's a rough product out there, and based on the acts that they can bring in, they can help finish that project. Correct? We can get the doors open, we can start having events there, and eventually some of these other features that you would like to see, that I'm sure they would like to see, would be to make it a first-class venue. You had mentioned an AV wall and a few other things, sound system and all of that. We lack some of those features now, but they will help get that paid for.
Absolutely, just like what happened the other night. Some of those things that the person that may come in to do the production will rent it. I think Neptune and Gulf Coast spent about $20,000 on that video wall that we could be renting to somebody, right? And so that's a component within this, this theater that would be outstanding. So, but that's all part of the long-term capital in the ball game to make it like no other. So, like I said, in our opinion, this is the best deal for our citizens and for our Sanger.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, whenever y'all sell tickets, y'all gonna have a $3 maintenance, right? Y'all gonna charge $3 for maintenance. But if the city's paying all the maintenance, where's that money gonna go?
For ongoing restoration.
Restoration, not maintenance. Now, if it's AV or some of the things that part of the paint fails or roof fails, that's on our ball game.
This is my only concern is it's going to be a 70-30. We pay all the utilities, all the insurance, we pay everything. Is that, I mean, that 30%, is it going to cover it all? I know we're not, we like to have money coming in, but I mean, we don't need to lose money, so 30%, and we're paying all the bills, doing all the maintenance. One AC unit's $500,000-$600,000. So I'm just trying to figure out how that 30% is going to be enough. I would be more comfortable maybe at a 60-40, But I mean, we got the maintenance. I mean, we're going to be put money in a place.
Well,
at least maybe for a few years.
Let me say this: you heard some of the prices. If you're looking at a $10,000 event, okay, that's some of the things that can stack up very easily, unlike our ballpark. Okay, so this is specifically, it's our opinion that these events at the prices, and it may be a $20,000 event, right? Especially if we address some of the things. So that volume, we can make it up in the volume. So I have no concern about just the maintenance things that would break down, because it's all brand new, except for the seats.
Councilman, also, if we find that this is not a good deal, we can give 30 days notice. That, hey,
90,
this isn't work.
90
I'm sorry, 90 days.
90-day notice.
And they can do the same thing, actually. They can say, hey, this isn't working out, we're giving you 90 days. So it kind of triggers, that relationship between both of us, that this is a mutual relationship. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I think this is a different scope of things. This production, these things that there would be a different scope, and you look at some of the volume, some of the dollars, and some of the shows that hit the Coliseum, and but bottom line, it's a little different ball game now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
We are getting sort of a diamond in the rough. This 3 years gives us a chance to raise funds, do all these things to make it a state-of-the-art venue. And that's why I believe we've chosen that 3. If I'm wrong?
That's exactly.
So at the end of 3 years, we'll renegotiate. That's why that's it. The city's not stuck with this for 100 years. I've seen that happen to other 3-year thing, renegotiate based upon what we've been able to get done. For bringing in those big acts, which we hope to be able to do within 3 years, we'll be in a better place to renegotiate some of these questions.
Mr. Gray, you still have the floor.
So if y'all put in a $200,000 screen and it goes out, who pays for that? Since the
Hopefully it'll
city's,
be under warranty.
well, I mean, and maybe 2 years, 3 years, we never know.
I mean,
So, and that's, I mean, if we're paying the maintenance
Bought the thing, it'll get
and the repairs, so that would be, you know.
You need to step up to the mic, sir.
The city is only responsible for maintaining the building. Plumbing, a pipe breaks or something like that. But anything that's not attached to the building, legal wall, sound system, once it's there, if it breaks,
They're responsible for it.
Y'all taking full responsibility. Once we sign the contract, it belongs to y'all.
other than, hey, there's a crack in the wall, or something that might be a public.
Sewer, I mean, water and sewer, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, but we assume everything. Something else you were saying, I get the 60, 40, I mean, the
70-30.
40 sounds better. Basically, we're on a 60 net deal right now, net. It's the exact same mathematical come out. But what you don't have to do is assume the risk. So if we host a $5 event, $1,000.
You book a show.
If we lose money on it, whatever the ticket sales are, regardless of what we paid for it as a nonprofit, the city profits. And you still make money.
That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Shoemaker.
A lot of the questions I had have been answered, and apologize, I'm going to ask some questions, and some may have already been asked. I was trying to take notes. But 70%, and I know you just mentioned that is all for the building, or where the city, excuse me, the city is responsible for the building. And I'm going to bring up something, okay, just say chairs. I won't say carpet. Let's just say chairs. What if something happens to the chairs? We have to replace chairs. Is that on the city or is that on Encore Sanger? It's inside the building. It's not part of the building.
It's attached to it.
Is that in a contract though, or is that just something we're going to, and I guess my point is,
Unless, I would say we repaired what we had as far as that. Now, if they decide to upgrade all the chairs, you know, that's not on us. You know, if they were replace, if they decided to add additional chairs or something, or we actually put an additional VIP or additional functionality, if they wanted to put some movable chairs or something, that would be on them. But the things that are already in the building now, and that's the only thing that I could see that could go wrong is that somebody tear up a chair or something like that. There would be insurance and so forth if somebody did damage those chairs. But yeah, that's only, other than the air conditioning, the lighting, or the electrical, you know, we've already upgraded as much as we could. The plumbing and the stairways and stuff like that. Yeah, something that would actually break.
right. Right, I'm just worried because I see what we're living with Shuckers, and this is a smaller scale, but we can't do that again. We can't have a repeat of the Shucker Stadium. I mean, so I just think there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, and I mean, maybe we get the answers, maybe we don't. And I'm really, quite frankly, I'm not still sure about the stage or the chairs. I know if I really don't know. Mayor, I know what you just said, but, and that may be small compared to the scheme of the whole Sanger, but things add up. And I mean, the stage, for instance, we've remodeled the Sanger. If something happens to the stage, the first event we have, who pays for that? Is that the city or is that Encore Sanger?
If currently with the state that the Sanger is in, anything that is currently in there attached to the building stage, if we went in there, turned the Sanger over to us tomorrow and destroy the stage, you guys would rightfully be pissed because the stage is part of the building. And so the Sanger as the building and part of the building is stage, you guys would be responsible for it. Anything that we're bringing in, lights, sound, equipment, anything like that is on us. We're purchasing it, we're maintaining the equipment, we're running the events, then you guys have the building as it stands currently right now.
Okay. That does answer that a lot better. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Not happening.
Well,
What the problems are, how are we going?
yeah, the rental fees, that will be determined by Encore Sanger,
That is correct.
and the city will have no say in any of the fees.
No.
That I'm aware of, no.
Okay. And just curious, and this may have been asked, the 30-70%, how were those numbers derived?
Okay, well, let me see. I'll run through the scenario. Because say you decide to book an event yourself, it's going to cost you $100,000, and you can determine a ticket price. That's the revenue you'll be generating against all $100,000 to do the production. We get 30% of that ticket price, even though you might lose money on the event. Is that right? But if you make money, we don't care how much money you make. But whatever you sell those tickets, we're going to get 30% of that revenue, which we we don't in another number of cases.
No, I was asking how was the 30-70, how was that number derived? It could,
I'll
determined, where it could have been 60.
I wanted 33%. That's how it derived. So we worked it down.
Okay, so it was just the negotiation between the city and
I really wanted 40, but we worked 30% after talking. I'm just kind of joking. No, if we determine, I think that number works. As far as things that we've, in the past, we've tried to do there with recitals and low dollar, low volume kinds of stuff. But we're talking about, 5 times the opportunity, I think, as far as rental revenue, don't you think? Yeah.
Okay, and I only have 2 more things. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's mainly, I guess, for the administration, and just one comment. And I know Mr. Gammons mentioned it earlier in comments, and some other people have, I know quite a few other people don't understand, but I'll just, to clarify for anybody, that the city signed, I think, we got some money, some bond money, or
Archives and history.
okay, and it's through Archives and History. They're the ones that have said we must
Have a third-party manager.
right, we must have a third-party company to manage the Sanger. That's why we're not doing it, or hadn't even thought about doing it, because we don't have a choice in that. Correct, okay. And lastly, the police and fire, I know they've worked at the Sanger Theater for years and years and years. Is that still, will that change, or will they still be able to work those events?
Well, I'm sure there'd be an option. I'm not, who's the fireman and what security? Yeah, in the past, the client pays for it.
Whoever's renting it.
But the city's always, for any city building, it's always been required of a.
If we hired our police as client, yeah, if we hired our.
Chief D-Back, yes, sir.
Like any city building, there's still, the client, we'll call it, has to pay through ES. That's where they pay like for weddings and stuff, not city overtime or nothing like that. So I'm sure it'd be handled the same way.
Okay, thank you, Chief. So it will be handled the same way. Mayor? Yeah. It will be handled the same way.
So, I hadn't thought it totally through, but it's kind of, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to be clear. I'd like to be clear on that too. I guess I want to make sure that our officers are protected, our fire staff are protected, and their security. We need them, so we don't want to look up and see there's a security company. You guys,
just like at a wedding at the Civic Center, you had
just like renting any city building. So talking about protection and stuff, they get injured. It's covered through EDS, workman's comp, and so forth. They're paid through they're paid through EDS. The client pays EDS plus a fee. We don't pay anything for it. So usually it's events like alcohol, things like that involved. But I'm sure it's something that in managing company will work out the details.
the question is it clear anywhere in writing that they know that they cannot hire their own security? and leave our police officers out. That's all I'm expressing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're
It's a city
supporting.
building ordinance that required to
Right.
hire police officers, not
So there's an ordinance somewhere that covers, that protects our officers.
officers and fire.
Okay.
And Chief, just for the record, we were looking out for the police and fire. We weren't just debating the overtime issue. We were just looking out for them.
Okay, we need
Yeah.
to make sure, our people got to be taken care of.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Quill.
So, one last thing, and I think I hear this horse crying in the back, we're beating him to death, but the only thing is, looking at this contract, is it perfect? No. If we could beat it up at every line item and change this, that, and would it ever be perfect? No. But I think this is a definite start. I think this is a mechanism that we can use to go that extra step and get where we need to be to satisfy the state and clients going forward. One thing I heard today that I'd like to hear is they've already lined up seven events possible to go so far. So the best part about that is they've taken the initiative to even go that step without even having a contract. That right there speaks volumes and shows the passion that they have for the venue and the willingness to fill the venue. And that speaks volumes for you guys for working on it when you're not even getting paid and don't have a contract yet. And lastly, and more importantly, is we can't go into this looking to get out of it. We have to go into it just as these guys have, and young lady, just as they have. They've gone into it with both feet forward. They've already contacted up to 7 people. They're vested in it. We, as a city, I understand our guards up due to the monstrosity over at the park. However, once bitten, twice shy, and that's why we went through this exercise today, asking these questions. I appreciate your candidness, and I appreciate your willingness to come up and answer the questions as best of your knowledge. But we can't go into it looking to get out of it. We have to go into it just as these guys have, and we have to support each other and just have that level of trust to know these guys are from Biloxi. They're Biloxi through and through as well. They're not in it to make us look bad. It's in their best interest for it to succeed. So can we look at this later and try and change it? The best part about it is that 3 years, we have the exercise of going for 3 more years in 1-year increments. So if we want to look at it in that after 3 years and go into that 4th year and try to change something, hey, that's why we all sit at the table. I appreciate the administration.
I'm waiting for you to take a breath, because I want to say,
and that's why I didn't take one, because I saw you chomping at the bit.
But the thing I think you said, commitment. And that's what we have in this deal, a commitment to make this work. And I was going to say, we talked about it, we kicked it around. Is it not unreasonable to expect 40 events a year once we get rolling? Have you heard that?
No, and like I said, so just to further your point, we can't go into it looking to get out of it. We have to go into it and support these people, so.
And I'm grateful for their commitment to this project, and they see the value of what we have here and what it can be. So I'm not certain, like I said, I don't even think about something else. I'm ready to rock and roll today.
Okay.
All right, any other comments?
I just want to make sure that we,
Mr. Marshall.
if any motion would be with the contingency that we be placed upon, have a voice on the board. That's all.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other comments? Call for the question. Well, this was just a consent item. Continuing
forward, the only other question I had is on item M. Just a quick question is why are we excluding Gulfport? Is Gulfport not wanting to be a member? Because I know item N is a corrected resolution.
I can answer that a little bit. I've been involved with this a little bit with this event with the Mississippi Hotel Lodging Association and some other entities. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel. We put this together because we were going to do it as a joint effort with Gulfport, and Gulfport ended up doing their resolution separately. so it required us to rescind the original one and kind of break it out as an individual with Biloxi. But when you take both of them, we're basically doing it together. We're just not doing a joint resolution with them.
But this is still joint, includes Harrison County, correct?
Never included Harrison.
No, it's just
City of Gulfport.
Okay.
City of Gulfport and City of Biloxi. And Gulfport, they adopted was Gulfport EU. That left us with an agreement we couldn't get signed.
Right.
So we're rescinding the old one and doing the same agreement that Gulfport has agreed to, Biloxi.
Perfect, thank you. That's all I have, thank you.
All right. Mr. Tisdale.
A related question, just on that event with Unity, that will require a special events application, is that correct? I'm assuming, I was just wondering if they had started that process yet. Probably not, but.
Rachel.
I'm sorry. The question is, has Unity started the special events process? And they probably hadn't because we're so far out, but there is a process.
Yeah, but once it's a city-sponsored event, it's a different process that doesn't require that.
Good deal. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Good job for a new guy. Thank you.
Is that it?
Paul, is that it?
That's
All right.
Thank you.
Any other comments on the consent? Mr. Gray? Mr. Marshall?
I'm good.
Mr. Nail?
I'm good.
Mr. Shoemaker? I have none. So I'll ask for the vote on the consent, then followed by any dissensions or exceptions. All in favor of the consent? All opposed? Motion carries. We'll ask for exceptions. Mr. Gray?
None.
Mr. Marshall?
Just the contingent for that, the encore, for the membership on the board.
Okay. Let it be recognized, Mr. Marshall is noting that he would like, as we go forward and put the board together, that he wants representation from Biloxi. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Nail?
None.
Mr. Creel?
None.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing. Thank you.
Mr. Shoemaker, and I have done. Thank you, gentlemen. Move on to code enforcement hearings.
Item A on the agenda, Ryan S. and Melissa M. Morgan, 10529 Shorecrest Road. That case has been resolved. Item B, Bethany Michelle Fairchild, 176 Summer Place. That case has been resolved. Item C, 4B's Development LLC, 2033 Southern Avenue. That case has been resolved. Item D, Audrey Griffith, 225 Baptist Alley. That case has been resolved. Item E, Hai Thon Tran, 289 3rd Street. Last month, the council gave her 30 days. They are working on it. We would ask for another extension.
All right. Chair, I entertain a motion for 30 days.
Yes, I've rode by there. They're doing a lot of work on that house, and I'll make a motion for 30 days.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Seconded by Mr. Tisdale. Any discussion, Mr. Gray?
Done.
All right. Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries.
I do have something to address on the routine agenda as well when you.
All right. Well, let me close code enforcement. We'll go to routine. Do I have a motion on the routine?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Creel, seconded by Mr. Tisdale.
Okay. Mr. Abine and I talked about this before he had to leave. On item A, which involves Biloxi Capital LLC, we'd like to ask that the council table that. What it is that the contractor that was doing the work in that area put the debris on that property without the owner's permission. And so we're working on a means to have it removed, whether it's having the contractor remove it or having Public Works remove it and then charging NECASE to pay for it. So,
Mr. Creel, you have the floor.
Okay, so do I make that motion now? Or I'd like to make a motion to table.
Item A.
I'll tell you what, let's just remove, well, in that case, if we're going to remove, I'd like to, while we're removing something, I'd like to get to something, an additional item to be removed.
Well, let's vote on removing A, and then we'll move on to further
All right,
discussion.
I'd make the motion to remove A from the routine
All
agenda.
right, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion on item A?
None.
Mr. Tisdale?
Based on,
Just have a question again. This is, under what section is that? 1, 2?
It's under the routine.
Right, I know it's,
Second.
On the routine agenda.
is it under, right?
Under section.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's all. I just wanted to locate that. All right, thank you. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gray, anything?
No.
All right, I'll call for the question. All in favor of removing A? Those opposed, motion carries 6-0. All right,
all right, so first of all, if you could put on record, I'm abstaining from Curry Johnson charges. Also, if we could go down, well, you can't go down, but looking at there's 2 invoices on this routine agenda from Mr. Hurd, one for January, an invoice for January that didn't meet the January's docket, and then there's another one for February. I'd like to move table voucher number 351627, which is his invoice for February. Back when we approved his contract, we had asked for a report to be given to the council based on his actions and what he's working on. We received one for January that was distributed to the council. I have yet to receive anything for February. Also, going forward, there's several other reasons. I mean, the appeal from FEMA, from what I understand that he was working on, had a 90-day deadline, and from what I understand, the timeline on that was mid-January, and we're into February with no update. Councilman Glavin, you mentioned yet again today and several other meetings about how you need sidewalks. Councilman Gray made reference to sidewalks in his dissertation earlier today. I see where a neighboring city just got $1.14 million in a grant from MDOT, and I just, with this gentleman's relationships with MDOT, either A, he's not tuning into our meetings, or B, he's not accessible at our meetings for us to talk to him about these grants that we're missing out on. This is the second one. D'Iberville got $7.9 million, if you remember, with the SS4A money, which is, again, for streetlights and sidewalks. So now we're looking at close to $10 million that a neighboring city's gotten that we have no one working on our behalf, or at least no one to ask on our behalf. So until we can either A, have him via phone call or in person to ask questions, or some kind of feedback on what he's working on in the month of February, I'd ask you guys to support and hold on to his invoice for the month of February until we receive that information.
I'll second that if it's
Let
appropriate.
me give the
second
a little bit.
Just a minute, Mayor. Seconded by Mr. Tisdale. Now we're open for additional discussion.
Yeah, as far as grants and some of those things they're working on, I think I reported in the last workshop regarding a $10 million WRDA grant that's coming, as well as increasing that to $15 million. So that was one event, but also a number of the police departments. These are some of the things that we're working on right now from the DC level. And MDOT too is, has some things on the radar that we'll be able to report on, I think, in an update. But we did talk a little bit about the $10 million grant when we started talking about the projects, the WRDA projects for doing the bond and some of the matching funds. There's a number of things that, as a matter of fact, in DC have taken place this week.
All right.
So
I got a question. Does anybody know if D'Iberville has any WRDA grants?
They've got about $9 million, I believe, so far this year.
9 million? Okay.
We were expecting 15 million.
Okay.
They've gotten up to 90 in the last 8 years.
Okay. Just asking the question.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Jamie?
No, that's it. If I don't know if we, that's,
All right.
anybody has anything to add.
Mr. Tisdale, you seconded. Do you have any?
No, I have nothing else, thank you.
Nothing. Any other councilmen have any discussion? We're talking about the removal of the invoice for Mr. Hurd.
Right, it just seems like we never get an invoice from him. I think we've done that several times, and like I can remind my colleagues, y'all voted for him.
All right. Any other discussion? Mr. Shoemaker, you have any? Mr. Nail?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
I do-
Oh, wait,
I do have- I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Tisdale does. This is on
Right.
for discussion, the Heard invoice right now.
Was the motion to table it or remove it?
To not pay it.
I got it. Okay, I was just curious.
All right.
Removing, okay, thank you.
It's to remove it from the docket to pay.
Gotcha.
Is that accurate? All right.
It works.
Okay, all in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries 5-1, or 1-5.
Nothing further.
All right, now we're back on the consent, or I'm sorry, routine. And do we have any other discussion on the routine itself?
No.
Any discussion on the routine itself? Okay, there being none, call for the question. All in favor of the routine as, I guess, amended? Those opposed? Motion carries. We will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Go ahead and make that.
So move.
In memory of, is it Rosemary Bailey?
Rosemary Bailey. Right.
All right,
And I think we'll all second that.
all right.
That's all right.
All in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned.